It's vamp time.
It is vamp time, everybody. Hello, good evening. Happy Horror Monday to you all. John, happy Horror Monday to you, sir.
Thank you. Happy horror to you, and happy horror to everybody there in the chat. I have brought with me the rare beer. So
Ooh, not only a rare beer, but that is Foster's Australian for beer.
yeah, the beer is not rare, but it's rare that I drink beer, while we're doing this. I normally have a soda.
Very nice.
But I figured
like
under the circumstances of today,
yes.
I will crack one open.
You know what? I wish I had something to cheers you with right now, but all I have is a Diet Coke. That does not work. That's a bad jinx. But anyways, what John is mentioning is today we got some terrible news that a very prominent figure in the Las Vegas film community, a friend of ours, I think a much better friend of John's than myself, but very friendly with his brother, and that is we lost Michael Mahal. Do we know, was that last night, John, that he passed?
That I don't know. It's just everybody started talking about it today.
Yeah, there's a lot of posts out there
by
today.
A couple people. Yeah. Jonathan Moody messaged me. Miranda messaged me. Adriana messaged me, and I'm like, yeah, it's awful. So it's it's basically the Mahal brothers are the big people out here in Vegas. They do the big indie movies. They get the crowdfunding. They're the showmen of Las Vegas filmmaking, and I had the pleasure and honor of working with them as a production assistant on a film called Art of the Dead that has Tara Reid, and it was one of the best experiences I have ever had. And we filmed this for about, I want to say like 7 days, and the Mahal brothers, both Sonny and Michael is the older brother, and he's the one who passed, were two great guys to work with. And I learned, a lot from them. Yeah. So it's an end. Sonny and I went to a couple concerts together, and whenever there's a festival or a screening or something, we always kind of meet up. Hey, how you doing? Oh, that's great. Oh, hey, how. And now things have changed. Vegas will not be the same. So it's very unfortunate.
No, and before we talk about their movies or whether or not Sonny will carry on the torch and all that stuff, we'll talk about that. But I have been friends online with them for a long time, and I had never met them in person. I missed them. It was like, oh, this event was happening. Either they were there or I was there. And I just hadn't crossed paths with them until just a couple months ago at Days of the Dead Las Vegas. Finally got to meet them both in person. And I am very grateful for this moment right here. There I am. And so it's Michael would be on the left side of the picture to my right. And Sonny is on my left there. And I'm thrilled that we finally got to talk with them for a little bit in person. I talked to them many times online and always been, a supporter of their films and their efforts and stuff. And I've heard nothing but great things about them. So that just tells you what type of guys they are. Is that, and the good thing is, I think Michael, they were making all these movies in different locations on tropical islands and different places in LA, and they were posting pictures. They would, go places like they were Disneyland not too long ago and stuff. And so I think, at least hopefully, from my perspective, I think Michael was living his best life. So, and if we're going to go, and I don't want to speak out of line here or anything, but what we kind of understand is that Michael may have passed in his sleep. And I think we all couldn't wish for a better way to go. You don't want to suffer. You don't want to die in a horrific accident or something. When we leave this world, I think in our sleep would be the best way to do it. So I guess maybe there's a little positive out of a major loss.
Yeah, it's an absolute shock, and it's a huge. It just sucks. It really does.
It really does. Yes. And with that being said, we're not going to dedicate 2 hours tonight to just, being sad and telling stories and stuff. We are going to carry on with the Horror Movie Monday, as that's, they're filmmakers, they're film lovers, and so are we. And so I think the best thing for us to do is keep on keeping on, but keep his memory strong.
Yeah. And they gave me a great compliment once. I only worked on one film with them, but I did hang out with, Sonny a few times, and I was friendly with Michael. He gave me some great advice with crowdfunding. And somebody, I don't know who it was, asked, I think it was Sonny. They asked Sonny, they said, "Why hasn't John worked on more of your movies?" And Sonny goes, "Because he's not a production assistant. He's a director."
Yeah.
So I could have worked on more of their movies, but I liked that compliment so much, that they put me, because they were primarily producers and writers, and they started out directing. They do have films that they directed out there. There's like 2 or 3 of them, I think. And then everything else they did was producing and writing and casting. And I met some great people. I mean, Tara Reid. I got to work with Richard Grieco. Robert Donovan. I worked with a lot of really cool people and learned a lot from them. So it's very, very unfortunate. And I'm very, I can only imagine what Sonny must be going through. So.
Oh yeah. No, to lose a brother, see, my brother passed away in 2019. So almost 6 years ago now that I lost my older brother, who was 2 years older than me. Losing a family member is not easy, especially as close as they were. They went everywhere together, did everything together. That's got to be just a devastating loss for Sonny. Yeah. And we wish him nothing but the absolute best. And just, sending positive vibes and our thoughts and everything, his way. So
it's they worked a lot with like Ralph Koninsky, and then Michael Sue, and there's a whole bunch of people out there that are affected by this. It's the entire Vegas film community, is because we all work together. All of us. I go work on your film, you work on my film, and then I go work on that film, and then it's one of those things. It's not isolated. We're all kind of interconnected. So
yeah. Well, very, very sad news indeed. But the show must go on. So let's proceed. I'm a little too bright here. We'll get this show on the road. We do have a lot to talk about tonight. We will bounce back and we will talk about Michael and the Mahal Empire a little bit more later on, but we've got to get to the news. There is some big news in the world of horror this week. So without further ado, let's get, if I can figure out how, this party started.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
Most of all, fuck you.
And good evening, everybody. I hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful evening and wonderful start to your week. It is Horror Movie Monday, and we're changing our format a tiny, tiny bit. Where in weeks past, I've always talked about the movie that is coming, but that used to be accompanied with a movie review at the end of the week. Well, nobody watches those. every once in a while, every once in a while, it would get good views. So I kind of gave up on those. So now we're going to kind of talk about the big movie that just came out and look forward to this week's movies. We will not spoil the movies for you. And I got to say, I had intended on coming up with, I do have a grading system that I wrote down, and we were going to go through all and grade different aspects of the movie without talking about the story, and then kind of just give you an overall score. And hearing the news about Michael passing, it kind of threw a wrench into things. So we're still going to talk about the big one of the week, and that's Final Destination Bloodlines. And I did indeed go see this movie. John, you did see this movie, did you not?
Yes.
Okay. And this is interesting. This is for a Final Destination movie. I am very impressed with these scores. And I think, well, we'll talk about in just a moment how we feel about the scores. The experts have Final Destination Bloodlines at a 93 on Rotten Tomatoes. The fans have it at an 89. That's interesting. That is a very high score for a horror movie. The budget was 50 million, and so far opening weekend it's made 105.8 million. So it's more than doubled. By the time things are all said and done, this will definitely be considered a hit. So that is good news. As John always likes to mention, in the world of horror, we want movies to make money whether we like them or not. So what do you think? 93 and 89 on Rotten Tomatoes. How do you feel about those scores, John?
I think the scores are awesome, except I didn't like the movie, but I think it is the worst out of all of them.
Wow.
But I am very happy that it's making a lot of money, which means that we get more Final Destination movies, and maybe some other older franchises will come back. So I just did not like it. So
Wow. Well, I did enjoy the movie quite a bit, but I still think a 93 and 89 is a little high. My overall score for the movie, I'm kind of sitting, on a 1 to 5, I'm sitting like at a 3.5. And so that's like a 70%. That's like a C. So that would be, it would be like a 70. And I'd say I could even go on a 1 to 100. I could even go 75. But I think 89 is a little high. And a lot of that for me is the terrible CGI that Final Destination can't seem to get away from.
My God, is that CGI bad? I think it's the worst CGI in the entire series.
Yeah, part 5, the people when the bus is falling off the bridge and everything, that is offensive how bad that CGI is. In my opinion, I think that is worse, but this is pretty bad. And now what we're talking about with the CGI is really just maybe the first 15-20 minutes of the movie, and then after that, and don't confuse CGI with effects. The visual effects are pretty good with the kills. It's a Final Destination movie. We know people
The
are going
kills
to
are
die.
good. The kills are good.
Yeah. And that shouldn't be a spoiler that anybody's going to die or that somebody's going to die in the movie. The kills are good. They look good, but there's some CGI that is just terrible. And to me, there's just no way I could score this an A based on that.
It's the kills are good. The film is too long and it's kind of boring. That's what I've been telling people. And it's almost 2 hours. It should be 90 minutes. The opening scene is 20 minutes at least. And it goes on for friggin' ever.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. And I don't know. I don't get it. I don't. It's not. Yeah, I just didn't like the movie. I just did not
Yeah.
like it.
Well, so, and, and we're not going to go into to storylines at all, but if you've watched a Final Destination movie, there is a formula that they use. I'm not even going to talk about the formula, but the way their movies start, there is a formula. And they adhere to the formula with this movie with a slight alteration. There's part that would normally come in a certain part that comes a little bit later, but they really adhere to their formula that has made the Final Destination movies work. And I don't have a problem with the way they did that, but the opening scene to get where we needed to get, it did drag. It did take a long time. There were a couple other moments in the movie where I'm like, okay, maybe we could pick up the pace or whatever. But all in all, I didn't feel like it was really long. I just felt like there were some scenes that could have been tightened up and the CGI could have been better. So sorry, go ahead, John, if you have more thoughts.
Oh, well, no, I was just kind of going,
Yeah.
so, but
Yeah.
I don't think it didn't feel like a Final Destination movie to me. It didn't look like a Final Destination to me. I thought the pacing was off for a Final Destination film. There are good kills. I like the Tony Todd scene, but I think it should have been longer, knowing what would be coming in the future with him. I wish that his scene was longer, but I do appreciate it and respect it. There is always, but it did get me a couple times with some of the kills where I went, oh shit, kind of out loud when something would happen. So I'll watch it again. I mean, I'll buy it so it could just be part of the, my collection, but I'll watch it when it's on streaming again and give it a second chance. But it just didn't. I could look up its budget, but it just seems like it's probably
$50 million.
Is it a bigger budget than most of them? Did you check?
Oh, that no, I don't know. That I'm not too sure. But I don't want to dive too deep into the Final Destination franchise, as we have a whole bunch of other news to talk about. But so I on a 1 to 5, I'm at a 3.5 or maybe like a 3.75. What would you rate this?
I would give it a 2.
Okay.
2 out of 5.
But I personally, I think if you're a fan of the franchise, go see it. That's my thought.
Well, yeah, and go see it in the theater at least. Yeah, because it does. It's fun seeing it in the theater. And I went on a Thursday right after work, and the theater it had some people in it. So it was fun kind of watching it with them. So even though I didn't appreciate it, I would say definitely see it in the theater.
Nice. And a movie that neither one of us saw, I do believe, Hurry Up Tomorrow. I didn't even look at budgets or how much money because I think it's bombing. But Hurry Up Tomorrow has a Rotten Tomatoes score currently, as of like 6:30 tonight, of 15 by the experts, a 1.5 on Rotten Tomatoes. Where Final Des. This is the one with The Weeknd and Jenna Ortega.
Oh my God! Yes, that's right. I would see it for Jenna Ortega, but not The Weeknd.
Yeah. So the fans have it at a 69, but which is my guess is why the 69 is so much higher than the 15. It is fans of The Weeknd, fans of Jenna Ortega, like they're apologists that are just going to see anything they do, and they're going to love them irregardless of how the movie turns out. Irregardless. So I think that's why that score is so high. I think in time it will come down, and it already has, because it was in the 70s and now it's down at 69. So I did not go see it. I will not see it. Maybe streaming one day. I'll give it a shot. But I was on the fence. I thought, do I go see this? And then I was like, well, let me look at the Rotten Tomato scores. And I saw at the time it was a 14. I was like, no, I think I'll pass. I will save myself that torture. So
Yeah, you're probably better off with it. I like Jenna Ortega. I really like her, especially with how she talks about Hollywood. I shouldn't have anything against The Weeknd, really. I don't know his music. I know he was on some TV show where he played the same character as he played on that TV show. What is it? The Idol that I watched that was garbage or whatever it was called, and with Johnny Depp's daughter. And who, if anybody is curious, gets naked throughout the entire show. So, which is the only entertaining thing about it. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't want to see anything with The Weeknd in it. I just don't care.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I am good. We'll talk about two more things and then we will say hello to everybody this evening. Sorry, we're getting to your comments and everything a little bit late because getting the curveball of Michael Mahal's passing. So I do one last time want to address Clown in a Cornfield. I absolutely hated this movie. It drove me nuts. It had such potential, but I just hated it for a lot of different reasons. But the experts on Rotten Tomatoes have it at a 73 and the fans have it at a 61. So those scores are kind of close together. So if you like clowns and you like killing, you might go see it. If you like rainbows and you like if you like things that are, woke and stuff, you might go see it too.
The message.
So, yeah. So have you seen this yet, John?
No, and after your review, I won't.
Yeah,
just like Conclave. Once I found out the ending, I have absolutely no desire in seeing it.
The killing was like an afterthought. This was a drama about teenagers, two of which, you come to find out at the end are gay. Old people, old white people, bad. Gay teenagers, good. Not getting respect they deserve. Oh shit, somebody just got killed. Like, the killing and the clowns are such an afterthought in this. I just it drove me nuts. You put a clown, you give me a clown killer, just fucking kill everybody. I don't care about character development. I just want a clown just decimating a whole town. That's what I want.
Because the message comes first and then the story. So
yes. So then the big news of this week, and the reason for the thumbnail saying it's a week of finals, because we had Final Destination Bloodlines. Now Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, a movie that has John all jizzy and everything all over the place. I am very much excited for this as well. Also, what is going through your head looking at that picture of Tom Cruise right now?
It makes me happy. It makes me happy.
Oh, yes. So John and I both, have you got through all the Final or the Mission Impossible movies? Because I just watched all the original 7 within the last month. Have you now rewatched all 7, or where are you at with the franchise? I know you've seen them all more than once, but
oh yeah, I've seen them all at least 4 times each, maybe more. But it's I think I made it through half of Ghost Protocol, and then no, I think halfway through Ghost Protocol. And then I hopped over to something came up, and then I hopped over to Dead Reckoning.
Okay.
And then I was messaging you saying, as much as I love this movie, it is really flawed.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for The Final Reckoning.
Oh my God, so am I.
In all probability, this is most likely Tom Cruise's last Mission Impossible movie, at least with Ethan in this capacity. I think if he does another one, I think Ethan may be in a different capacity. So he's kind of the leader or something, maybe not the guy out doing all the work, but I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and Jonathan sent me a picture of Tom Cruise where there was like an article or something saying, wow, Tom Cruise is now aged, and because I guess a lot of people are saying that he didn't age and he's had no work done, Well, when you look at what went on with like Top Gun Maverick and then Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, those things were made like 3 years ago, 5 years ago, somewhere in there. Because we had COVID and then we had the strikes, and he was shooting. If anybody went to go see Maverick, Top Gun Maverick in the theater, he was thanking people hanging on the biplane. And so they were already shooting The Final Reckoning, which at that time was part two, like 3 years ago.
Wow.
So
Well,
so he is going to look older. He's going to look
Yeah.
young probably in some parts of the movie, and then he's going to look older in some parts of the movie because all these things were shot over like 5 years.
yeah, Top Gun Maverick was shot in like 2018 or 2019 because it was supposed to come out, I think, like July, May, June,
they held
July
it, yeah.
of 2020, and then they pushed it back. Maybe even 2019 it was supposed to come out, because it was supposed to come out before my dad passed away, and my dad was very excited about Top Gun Maverick, and he never got to see it because he passed away in November of 2020. And so it was supposed to come out before then, and then it got pushed back. So it's got COVID. There's still the effects, the ripples of COVID are still impacting Hollywood. But I am very much looking forward to that. The one interesting thing that John and I haven't seen yet was that there was no Tuesday or Wednesday tickets. It's only like Thursday. And maybe that has something to do with how well the last one didn't do.
Yeah, they really, because if you notice with this one, there is a lot of advertising, but there was never that scene of like the big stunt like they had it in Dead Reckoning. They haven't done any of that. The trailer does focus on the biplane, but it's more of just the regular trailers, the regular online stuff that everybody does now. When they did for Dead Reckoning, when they did the Tuesday show, they gave out a poster and a pin. Same thing that they did with Top Gun Maverick. Well, there is no Tuesday show. So, I mean, I got my ticket for Thursday. I'm hoping for a poster at least.
Yeah.
So,
I will be disappointed if there's no poster based on what they did with Letterboxd alone, where if you went onto Letterboxd to watch, to rate, and this is over the last month or so, Master Chaos has experienced it. I experienced it, to rate Dead Reckoning, you got a mission sent to you, and it was like, this is your mission, should you choose to accept. And then it's like, this message will self-destruct in 5 seconds. It was awesome. I've never seen like anything like that on Letterboxd, and it wasn't just like the app. It opened up something else and came at you. It was very cool. So they are spending a lot of money advertising this, and I think it's going to be fun. I think it is.
Yeah, I hope that. I mean, Final Destination will make all its money. Everybody who wants to see it will have seen it, so it will make a lot of money. And so, hoping that, because they're not opening Final Reckoning in July, which is what they did with the last one, and that's where it bombed. And Indiana Jones bombed, and that was Barbenheimer and some other stuff. What is it? The Freedom movie that unexpectedly made a lot of money, about the child trafficking, and Sound of Freedom. And so hopefully with them doing it right at the beginning of when all these movies are coming out, it will actually make some money, because they have said, and once again, I would have to look this up, that this is the biggest budget movie like ever made. There is no way that this movie is going to make its money back. It's got to make like $2 billion.
Wow. That's insane. Well, let's get to saying hello to everybody before all of our audience completely gives up on us tonight, because we're ignoring them. So sorry, everybody. Forgive us.
Never.
Well, if I don't respond to their comments, they leave. So
well, let's get
you forgive us, because we got a wrench thrown at us with Michael passing. So Gail, hello.
Hello, Gail.
Really like Final Destination. Watch over the weekend. Love Tony Todd, rest in peace. Yes, we'll talk more about that in a little bit. We should have addressed that, but I'm trying to get on with the news here. Jonathan, what's going on? How you doing? Gonzo, better get the hands ready. My shoulders are tense. What? Hey, whoa. OGP is not a massage therapist. Hate to break it to you. Bad news. But good evening, Gonzo. Deadpool, what's up? A happy horror movie Monday. Hurry up. Tomorrow was a pretty bad movie. Ooh, you saw it? Sorry to hear that. Smash the like button. Everybody, yeah, if you would hit the thumbs up, please. Mr. Bones, what's up? Fluffy Gamer says it is time. And let's see here. Happy horrors to everyone. Yes, happy horror movie Monday to everyone.
Yes.
Antonis, what's going on? Jeff, what's up? Jonathan, New Year's Evil. I enjoyed it. John, your thoughts on New Year's Evil?
It's a good 80s slasher movie. It's fun. Yeah.
Agreed. Daniel, what's going on? Jam and Music Man, what's up? House of G fam. Thoughts on Annie Lee's Meat Pies? I liked that movie. I thought it was pretty funny. Have you seen it, John?
No, I don't think I've ever heard of it.
It's shot at the same place where Motel Hell and one of the Pumpkinhead movies are shot in that same like a cabin thing. But Annie Lee's Meat Pies, it's women grinding up men and selling pies they make out of their meat. So it's a good horror movie. Lots of stars that you would love. Wicked Network, what's going on?
Hey, what's up?
Let's see. I'm trying to say hello to everybody. John, Robert C, what's going on?
Hey, Robert C.
And if I miss some of your comments, forgive me, everybody. We gotta get caught up here a little bit. Hearing of a scene where Tony Todd breaks the third or fourth wall and says goodbye to us fans. Yes, kind of. I understand because, and I don't want to get into spoilers, but toward the end of that scene, Tony Todd does say something to the effect of, like saying goodbye. And I felt like it was directed at the audience. So I do kind of feel like there was a fourth wall kind of deal. You don't agree?
Well, I mean, he's not talking into the camera. He is talking to the people that are there. But what I read is that, because there's two directors on this, is they did let him ad lib. So before he leaves the scene, I believe what he says, which is basically the goodbye, is him. He made that up. And you can look at it as a farewell to the film series. You could look at it as a goodbye to the fans, the film industry. Yeah, it's very nice. I just wanted more since this is just the last thing. I just wanted more Tony Todd. Well,
and I wonder too,
greedy for that.
Yeah, fair enough. But with Sid Haig in 3 from Hell, we just got a little clip of Sid Haig because he was very sick, and you see Tony Todd in this, and he's clearly sick. I think he knows he's dying. I think he has. Oh,
definitely.
Yeah. So I think it was probably, maybe that was all he could give us. I don't know. Maybe we'll find out someday. Christian, what's up? Seeing tomorrow with Thunderbolts. Nice.
Well, stay for the credit scenes. So there's 2 of them.
There you go. Sep, what's going on? I heard OGP saw another crappy movie today. Never heard of it, but I laughed when you described it on Instagram. Oh, I think it's Black Bag. I think Black Bag is what we're talking about. That movie was basically, it's supposed to be a spy thriller movie. It was basically Sex in the City meets Clue, and it was boring as shit. I just was not a fan. I can't wait for 28 years later. Gail, I'm with you. Cannot wait for that. And there's some other interesting news about that franchise that we're going to get to, because there's plenty more news to talk about in just a moment. Liv, what's going on, Liv? How you doing?
Hey, Liv.
Saw Friendship in the theater yesterday. It was hilarious. Very nice. And Liv, interesting, loves rainbows and all things that are colorful. And Liv, and I love rainbows and all things that are colorful too, but I want a horror movie to be a horror movie, not something else with horror on the side. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to knock any element of the population at all, but I just want a horror movie to be a horror movie. That's all I meant there. Does hilarious mean good, live, or bad? Okay, let's see here. Character acting all around was awesome. Are we talking about? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Maybe this is them talking to each other. I gotta okay. To all the legends, I bid you good night, OGP John. I'm hoping I can mail out your packages by Friday if these new meds work. Gail, yes, I am thinking about you, hoping that things turn for the better for you with your health, sir.
Yes, definitely. And I am working on my stuff for you. So,
oh, very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
Jeff says actually felt certain Lithgow was. Oh, are you talking about the movie with Lithgow? There was something new with Lithgow that somebody mentioned, and I went to start watching it, but I had to go to Chicago, so I never got to finish that movie. I got to go back and finish that new one with Lithgow. Let's see. OGP, thank you for the message you sent me saying happy birthday to me. Really appreciate it. Oh, no, Robert, of course, brother.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, his birthday was a few days ago, but I don't.
Happy belated birthday.
I am hardly. I go on social media anymore to like post something to keep everybody knowing I'm alive, like what I'm doing, watching a movie or this, that, promoting these shows and stuff. And so I'm not on there. And so I missed that it was Robert's birthday. So I felt bad. It's not newly made, but there's a new Tony Todd movie that was shelved on Tubi. Yeah. So I mentioned that a couple weeks ago, Mr. Bones, that it was coming out. It's called Cutters Club or Cutting Club. I did watch it. It's very short. It's just like an hour long. You watching it, you understand why it was shelved. It's not great, but it's Tony Todd, and we're not going to get any more of him, so it's still worth a watch for free on Tubi. I definitely recommend it. Have you seen that yet, John?
No, and after your review, I probably won't.
Okay. Let's see here. They asked Tony Todd to say whatever he wanted to say to his fans, and it sounds like it was a fitting send-off for him and his fans. I'll have to see the movie next week. It was. I think it was a great way. But like John said, I understand where John's coming from, where he wanted more. But I did like what they did with him with that.
I would have liked his character to maybe talk about the whole franchise and kind of bring them together, as he's like, people have come to talk to me. I've told people things and what I've seen, and to kind of maybe even bring up a couple movies that never happened, where people came in. And like you said, maybe he just couldn't get through it. But it would have been nice to kind of wrap it all up with him and then let him do his own goodbye, which I thought was great. I mean, I really thought it was. And, I guess just, being selfish and knowing that we're not going to get any more Tony Todd. I wanted more, just give me more. We're not going to see him again. And so it's sad. Like I mentioned with Candyman, with the remake, he is in it. He passes the torch, but I don't see that it could be longer. It's just what he did was fine. And, but in this, I wanted more.
Yeah.
But it was good. I just wanted more.
Yeah. More would have been better. Would not have been a bad thing. But is it full moon quality? It is 100% full moon quality. The Cutters Club movie, where Cutting Club. It's pretty rough. It really is. But like I said, it's only an hour. You can make it through it. Let's see here. We got to get back to the news. 2 more comments, and we're getting into the news. Me and Rachel will celebrate my birthday Friday night and then Saturday we will be at Texas Frightmare. Very nice.
Very nice.
Man, one of these years I want to get to Texas Frightmare. That would be awesome. And Tony says, I heard there was a hospital kill in the Final Destination 6 that a lot of people loved. Is that true? I don't want to get into spoilers at all. But they do spend time in a hospital, Antonis. That's all I want to say. And I liked all the kills. I thought all the kills were pretty good. So that's, unless John wants to say anything else, but I want to leave it at that personally.
Yeah. It was good. Yeah. The hospital. Yeah. What happened to the hospital was good. Yeah. The kills are good. There's nothing wrong with the kills. Just leave out all the friggin' dialogue. Just so
Yeah.
it's a horror sci-fi type of thing. Just give me kills like the other ones, 90 minutes.
Speaking of kills, 20 years later, we know it's coming in theaters
God.
before too long, but 28 days later is getting re-released on May 21st. So 2 days from now, if you would like to go see 28 Days Later in the theater again, you can do that. 28 Days Later is one of the greatest zombie movies of all time. And I may just have to go check that out in the theater again. So what are you there was a little grunt there when I pulled up 28 years later. Are you not excited?
It was a good grunt.
Okay.
I love 28 Days Later, and I love 28 Weeks Later. Jeremy Renner is before he was really Jeremy Renner. I'm sorry, my mouth is dry. And I love both of them. I'm really looking forward to 28 Years Later. And the interesting thing is that they, with the sequel, the director of the remake of Candyman is doing it. And of course, she did The Marvels, which now I'm cutting her slack on after hearing everything about that, how they kind of took the movie away from her. It's not the film that she directed. She had to go to like the UK to make another film. So I'm curious of seeing who we get in 28 Years Later Part 2. So, because there's going to be 3 of them. They haven't announced who's making the 3rd one yet.
I just watched a Steven Soderbergh movie that made me hate his guts, but he's done movies that I love. So, because Soderbergh did The Black Bag, and I hated that movie.
Oh, wow. And you also didn't like Unsane.
Correct.
That was also Soderbergh, yeah.
Yeah. So, moving on, Scarlett Johansson says she will not be in the Avengers Doomsday. So that news broke this week.
Good for her.
So don't plan on seeing her in that. And then the Batman 2 has a full final script, a full first draft of the script written. So they're making progress. Supposed to still come out in 2027.
From what I have read, James Gunn has canceled the entire thing because he wants to make Batman part of his universe. So that means Penguin season 2, Batman 2 and 3, Joker, everything is canceled. It's and these are the reasons why I don't like James Gunn. So Matt Reeves, I'm a big fan of, and I love the Batman. But I have heard that everything is canceled.
No, well,
please correct me.
I am correcting you. I gotta just pull up IGN here. Movies. We'll deep dive into the story here real quick. It was a couple days ago now, and this is from James Gunn. Boopity boppity boopity. Sorry, I wasn't prepared to dive this far into it, so I didn't have the story pulled up.
You weren't planning on going into the black bag for this one?
No, I was not going to go into the black bag. But
what about the black hat?
Shit. I wish. Oh, here we go. Let me just search on here. Oh, fuck off. This. I'm just going to Google it. Batman 2 update. Okay, so here we go. I want to find a trusted source. Well, we'll go with the wrap. Who's saying this? Peter Safran gave an update on the project. James and I, we love Matt Reeves' vision for the Batman Part 2, and we're looking forward to this film as much as you are. He hasn't turned in a script, but what we've read so far is very encouraging. And this is 3 days ago. Okay,
so it was canceled, not to be canceled. Yeah. The Batman Part 2 and the planned Batman trilogy by Matt Reeves will not be canceled. So he did announce that it was going to be canceled. The entire thing was going to be canceled. Yeah. And so now he's changed his mind, I'm guessing because of backlash. You can have 2 universes. It's perfectly fine, But I
No.
think James Gunn is such an egotist that oh no, you can't do something that
Well,
goes against me, because Superman is not getting good reviews from
no.
test audiences, and I've heard that it's basically all his fault. So I have a huge problem with James Gunn with stuff. So
We'll see. For me, here's the thing. I typically don't give two shits about superhero movies. I really don't. I do enjoy Batman. The last Supermans and stuff, yeah, whatever. But Batman, I do like it, especially the new one, because it was so dark and it was borderline a horror movie. And I am very much looking forward to the next one. So I'm glad that it's on track, and whatever has happened with it, I'm glad it is where it is. They said the first script is done, probably have some rewrites and stuff, but I'm glad it's moving in the right direction. So that's good news, because I do remember like things being mentioned about it being canceled and tweaked to kind of fit. But for me, one of the reasons that I hate so many comic book movies is because all these different universes. Give me one fucking timeline that I could follow along, and don't, I thought the Multiverse of Madness, that doctor, whatever guy, movie was pretty good. But then when we decided to use that as a gateway to have different movies taking place in different universes or whatever, done. Don't care. I'm not going to do that kind of homework.
well, it's an easy and cheap way for writers to bring characters back.
Yeah.
Who should be dead. I remember being a massive DC fan because they weren't bringing characters back, and then they did Crisis on Infinity Earths, and then there were 20 Flashes, and then there were all these characters that had died, whatever, all came back to life. And it was just like,
the character, the Flash.
Yeah, there were
I was like, what are the Flashes? What's the significance? But you're talking about the character, the Flash.
There were different Flashes that ended up coming through in Crisis, and I think that's when I kind of stopped with DC, because when DC killed somebody, they died. When the Joker killed Robin, he died. And if they, that's where we got stuff like Deathstroke and Vigilante, which is why I'm highly offended, with James Gunn's TV series with Peacemaker, because of what they did to Vigilante. And then all of a sudden they went the Marvel route, and oh look, now all these people can come back to life. We'll just call it a multiverse, and it's like,
Well, the good thing for me is that before Peacemaker, I had never heard of one of those characters, so it didn't matter to me at all. But so I'm going to deviate from. I have a couple other news stories that I really am anxious to talk about, but there's something that got posted today. There was a rumor going around, and I got to find the post. I'm going to see. Oh, he's posted a lot of shit in the last 24 hours, apparently. Dang it. I'm looking for, there's a pretty significant announcement to a comic book world thing that I'm going to try and share right now, because this I just saw today, came out like 11 hours ago. Boink, there we go. And that is Denzel Washington is apparently slated to play somebody called Magneto. So people are apparently losing their shit over this. I love Denzel. That will maybe get me to go see an X-Men movie because I love Denzel. But
so he's the third Magneto?
I have no fucking idea who Magneto is. So to me, and maybe average fans, it doesn't matter. Diehard comic book fans, like maybe yourself, maybe this will change things or whatever. I don't know. But something about an X-Men film, and Denzel is going to play somebody named Magneto or Magneto or however is.
No, it's Magneto.
Okay.
But you've had.
But Denzel Washington shared that today. I don't think he would share it if it wasn't accurate. So while John does research, I also want to mention a Rambo origin story is in the works. And I don't know if they've picked out an actor or anybody to play a young Sly Stallone, but Rambo origin story does sound very interesting to me. I would love to see that.
That could be interesting, especially if it's in like Vietnam. Well, yeah, because me being old, I'm forgetting names. So Ian McKellen, Sir Ian McKellen, played the original Magneto, and then Michael Fassbender played the second one. It was the younger version of him. So, and I love Denzel Washington, but they're race swapping Magneto. You know, Marvel has not learned.
Yeah.
But okay.
But okay, so here's a question. We know Snow White. I mean, maybe she's
Brown.
Not whatever. We can't make Abraham Lincoln a black guy. We just can't do that. Is there a reason Magneto can't be black?
Yes.
Why?
Okay, so it depends on what they do with him. But Magneto is Jewish. His family and him were in the concentration camps in World War II.
Oh,
there
really?
And there is a lot of Magneto's history and of course there's a much bigger history within the comic books, is basically, if you're going movie wise, him taking revenge and killing all these people. So it's like what they're doing with Snape with Harry Potter. They race swapped him into a black actor or into a black character. The actor is a good actor, but if you read the novels, the whole reason why Snape hates like Harry Potter's family is because they hung him by a tree. They basically stuck him in a noose and hung him from a tree. So are you now going to erase that history because you're now going to have white people hanging a black man in a tree? Do you now just remove Snape's history entirely because it now becomes incredibly racist? Why not just, and I love Denzel. I actually thought that he was the best part of Gladiator 2 because he wasn't acting. He was just Denzel Washington in it. He was using modern day slang. He was just talking like Denzel Washington. And it's great as everybody else is doing the Shakespeare stuff. They'd be like, art I be gladiator. And he's like, okay, yeah, man, sit down. I got to tell you something. And it's like just doing just regular speak if you're watching Hamlet. And he was the best thing in it. So I love Denzel Washington. He's probably one of our greatest actors. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. And I don't mind, like Silver Surfer for Fantastic Four, is they race swap female. One, the effect looks awful. Oh my God, does that effect look horrible? And that character was in one comic and she died. Okay. Why not do a female Silver Surfer that people like, or just keep it a male Silver Surfer? Because the effects from the Jessica Alba movies was much better for Silver Surfer. This looks like garbage.
Well, I get that. But I think like with Denzel, if that character was in concentration camps and stuff, I don't know. I don't remember history having I don't remember the Nazis having black people in concentration camps with the Jews. So that would be a little weird. But it's a character that I don't know anything about. So I don't care personally. I'm like, give me more Denzel. That's all I care about. Give me American Gangster. Give me, what's a movie? Training Day. Give me shit like that. Like all day long, I'll take it. But
I don't mind when they swap. I collected comics for a very long time, and I had all the long boxes and they were stacked to the ceiling. That's all I would spend my money on. My girlfriend at the time, who was absolutely gorgeous, she looked like a young Jennifer Connelly, and I preferred comic books because I was such a freaking geek, and it bugged the shit out of her. So I know up to a certain point. So I don't know if in the comics at all, if Magneto was black, but I don't. If you're race swapping for a reason, if you're gender swapping for a good reason, that's fine. But for something like Fantastic Four, where they're taking Sue Storm and making her the leader instead of, Reed Richards, that doesn't seem right to me. They completely cucked Johnny, and now, is the Human Torch, where if you watch them in the other two movies and in the comics, he's a womanizer, he's a sexist. All he wants to do is get laid, especially when he gets his powers. And they've cut all of that out. He's now a nice guy.
I'm going to take your word, because everything you just said, you might as well have been speaking Chinese to me, because I have no idea who any of those people are.
And now we have friggin' Pedro Pascal out there who's pulling a Rachel Zegler who won't shut the fuck up about stuff. And I'm now not going to go see Fantastic Four for many reasons. In fact,
the trailer for Fantastic Four looks like shit. I saw that trailer. It is so stupid looking. I'm not going to see it. But let's not. We're an hour in and we haven't even got through the news yet. Let's try and get a couple more topics out here real quick, and then we'll get back to some of everybody's comments. So there's a lot of people very upset about this. I was planning on reading stuff today. I did not get a chance, but I do have pictures of this, and that is the new Jason Voorhees that some company has released. This is what the new Jason Voorhees is going to look like, and apparently people are all up in arms about this new Jason Voorhees.
Is that for a game?
That's what I was gonna read this stuff earlier today, but my attempts were thwarted, learning our bad news today. So let's dive into Bloody Disgusting has a story on it, and we will read here from Bloody Disgusting. 4 days ago, Jason Universe reveals new Jason Voorhees design by makeup effects legend Greg Nicotero.
Okay.
Following our exclusive Jason Universe logo reveal last week for whatever Jason Universe, whatever the fuck that is for, Horror Inc. is continuing its Friday the 13th 45th anniversary celebration with a new take on Jason Voorhees revealed by Adweek. Makeup effects legend Greg Nicotero from The Walking Dead, many other things, aided in the redesign of the horror icon, and I just got a goddamn ad that blocked my story here I was reading. I hate ads on websites. It's so dumb. Put them on the side or something. Don't block what I'm reading. A multi-platform expansion of the Friday the 13th franchise from its original owners. So they're talking about multi-platform. So I'm imagining there's going to be a new game or games. There's going to be movies. There's going to be the TV show. So this is what they're saying Jason is going to look like for this new Jason universe. And it's funny because you and I have talked about a person that we know, and I know other people like this, that kind of jump the gun and they go, I'm going to do this. And then so they make all this artwork for it, but they don't do it. Don't put out an image of Jason until you make the fucking movie. I don't want to see what Jason's going to be like till he's revealed in the show or he's revealed in the movie. Why we're putting out new artwork just to stir up attention, I don't know. And especially when it's uninspiring like this, like, okay, Jason, in my opinion, his mask should be all fucked up. I mean, Jason's been through a lot of different battles. Is this a new Jason? Are we rebooting the franchise? What are we doing? Why are we putting this artwork out? I don't know, but a lot of people are not happy with this.
I don't know. To me, it just looks like Jason.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if it's for a game, I mean, okay. If it just looks like Jason from the remake, I mean, I don't know why people are up in arms. I mean, I would much rather have a battle torn Jason. That's why I think Jason looks his best in Jason X, Jason 10. Yeah. I think that before he becomes Uber Jason, that Jason with the where he has like some of the hair and the chain and I think that's where he looks the best. I think it looks more like a Frankenstein monster. But yeah, I mean, there's been good looking Jasons and there's been bad looking Jasons. So I don't know. I mean, to me, it just looks like Jason.
This is my big problem with it all. And I mean, it's fine, whatever. That's Jason. That's Jason. But why? Why? I want a killer revealed in the movie. I want to sit down and as I'm watching the movie, experience what he looks like on screen. But they go on to say the launching pad for the Jason universe will be Peacock's Crystal Lake, the upcoming prequel series starring Linda Cardellini as Pamela Voorhees, but Horror Incorporated Chief Marketing Officer Sherry Khan promises their ambitions extend back to the big screen and beyond. So, okay, you're going to make a movie. You're going to make a TV show. You've been talking about this TV show for fucking years. And Jason's not even going to be in the show. He shouldn't be in the show. So why are we getting an image of Jason in this new universe? I just don't get it. I just
no, because it's not like the old days where we heard there's a new Friday the 13th movie being made, and we're like, oh, okay, and then we would get the poster, like at the theater, like you go see a different movie, and then oh my god, there's the Friday the 13th poster, and then you would go to see that movie, and there it is, the trailer is there. You'd be like, oh my God, this looks great. Like Friday the 13th Part 7 with how Jason looked. He looked amazing. And it's just like, wow, oh, fuck, this looks awesome. And then you're excited. Now it's, here's an AI generated, Greg Nicotero, and I like K and B when they were around. They're great makeup artists. They traded with Tom Savini. But Greg Nicotero really does seem to be pure ego now. He seems to be almost like a narcissist in some of his stuff. So I don't know. Maybe it's just pure ego. Oh, look, I worked on this. And I don't know what people are taking pride in. It looks like Jason or Jason from a comic book. Yeah. I mean, it just looks like Jason. And I guess that's weird. A negative because it just looks like Jason is kind of a negative.
Yeah. I just don't understand. I mean, give me a Friday the 13th poster and, maybe, even with like the new Halloweens that came out that Jason Blum decided to shit all over, even those, we got like a half of the image of the face in the poster. Something, tease it. Let us experience while we're watching the movie what this killer is going to look like. Don't put a picture out of him. I just don't understand the need for it. So we got to get through some of these comments here. Cody, what's up? Just uploaded his convention video where he met Weird Al. Decent. So if you're all subscribed to Cody, go check that out. I'm sure it was a blast. Weird Al always seems like a great dude. I'm gonna try and get through some of these. Jeff says they need to stay true to the comics, in his opinion. I think John agrees with that, right?
More or less. I mean, you can a lot of the Marvel stuff is based off of comics. They just have done it very poorly, and kind of so is DC.
Yeah. Reggie says, put him back in the tater sack. There you go. Let's go. I mean, hey,
Part 2 is my favorite. Yeah.
If we are going back and we're gonna kind of reboot, or if we're gonna make in-betweequels, speaking of Mr. Sunday movies, if we're gonna make in-betweequels, let's make him accurate to the time. I don't know. I just don't understand the image. Antonis doesn't like the new mask. Thumbs up button for the channel. And what up, Fluffy Gamer? Everybody, if you would, thank you, Killer Care Bear. What's cracking? Look at this. Jennifer Half is in the house. What up, Jennifer? How you doing? Yay. Good to see you.
Thank you. Yay.
And Jamie Norwood is here. What's up, Jamie Norwood? How you doing?
Hey, Jamie.
And HC, can you sign my copy of Unsane? HC.
That would be funny.
Yeah. Can I sign it with a pair of scissors? So there you go. If I missed some of your comments, I apologize. Throw them out there again. I'm just trying to get caught up. Mario, what's cracking, Mario? How you doing? So John and I have John, you have some pickups tonight, right?
Yes.
Okay. And we have some other things to talk about. We both watched a movie that John recommended. It was one of his movies in his top 10. That was, did we do that last week or was it 2 weeks ago?
Last week. Yeah.
Okay. You mentioned this movie, right? Sorority Row.
Yes.
And then you suggested it to me like yesterday, right?
Yes.
And I watched it, right?
Yes.
And I liked it a lot, right?
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did. I liked it a lot.
I'm very happy about that.
And I do like what you said about Sorority Row, and that it's kind of like I Know What You Did Last Summer, but better.
Yeah, I think it's better. Yeah.
And I agree with that. So it's funny. This is a movie that I bought a long, long time ago at Superstar Video, Superstar, that doesn't exist anymore. Because it was like in the bin where they were like $1 a piece or something like that. So this has been sitting on my shelf for a few years now, and I have to get a new case because this has the plastic. Luckily, this $4.99 tag is on the outside, and I was able to get the stickers off of the disc on the inside. Oh, you got a slipcover?
Yeah, I thought you don't have a slipcover.
Oh no, you suck. You suck.
Yeah, I know I'm going to buy the Blu-ray at some point, but I bought this over the Blu-ray because it does have the slipcover. I think I bought it at Amoeba Records when I was over there once.
Okay. I was just going to say, I do want to upgrade this. I thought Sorority Row was a blast. I love the movie. And it's funny because there are other movies where you are fully expecting nudity. And then they're like, no. And then maybe they give it to you. Maybe they don't. This movie's like teasing you. Like you think it's going to happen. You think it's going to happen. And it doesn't. And it doesn't. And it doesn't. And then there's a shower scene.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you're looking for that, then you get like 4 or 5 different sets of boobies. So they're all there. But where did you first learn, or tell us more about your thoughts on this movie, John?
Well, this is a remake of a film called The House on Sorority Row, which was done back in the 80s. Richard Band, Charles Band's brother, does the music for it. And it has nothing to do with this movie. Absolutely nothing. Except the cane that the lead girl in this uses when she's going through all the bubbles from the hot tub. That's the cane, or at least a replica of the cane from the original movie. So that film is good too, but this is better. And I heard they were remaking it, and it was like, why? And then I saw a sneak preview of it out here and went, thank you, and recommended this on Facebook several times. I friended the writers, and they accepted my friend request. And I told them how much I love this movie. And, thank you very much. We appreciate you liking the movie. And that's kind of where it ended. I would love to at least have interviewed one of them. And since then, it's the dialogue. The kills are good. They're nice and bloody, which is nice. But it goes along with, and I showed one of these last week, but it's also with these two. So the Scream Queens, which I showed last week, and the remake of Black Christmas, the first one, not the shitty second one. The dialogue of these are all sorority girl movies. They're all slasher films. The dialogue that's between these girls is amazing. Yeah, it is. I think Sorority Row should be taught in a film class as far as dialogue goes. The dialogue is hilarious. And I did a voice message to you going, oh, yeah, and women say that there's no parts for them. Women say that there's no good dialogue for them. Women say there's no good scripts for them. Men don't want to see women kicking ass. That's all in this movie. Yeah. They're beautiful women. They're good actresses. They have great dialogue. They kick ass through the entire movie, and unless they get killed or something, but still they kick ass before that. And this is a great film, and I'm really happy that you watched it and liked it.
Yeah, it really is good. And the big treat of it all, in addition to the great dialogue, I mean, it's just a great story, is Carrie Fisher. Is that Carrie Fisher is like the house mom, and she is a badass. And not to spoil it for anybody that hasn't seen this, but the way her story wraps up is pretty cool. Carrie Fisher is walking around with a shotgun putting holes all through this house. It's great. So, which is very funny because that reminds me of, granted, it was a machine gun in Blues Brothers, but that it was like if you didn't love Carrie Fisher from Star Wars, you absolutely fell in love with her in Blues Brothers with the machine gun. So, but this is great, and yes, it's like some of the dialogue, like the house is on fire, and the girls are running, they're trying to hide from the killer, and then they run into this room, and the one girl's like, "Oh, who the hell set the house on fire?" It's hysterical. And then there's another scene where there's one girl that, and I'm not really, this is not going to spoil it for you, where the girls are all in one room, and there's one girl that doesn't like another girl, and the girl that, you know, she doesn't like is like, "I need to leave. I got to go find so and so." And the girl that doesn't like her goes like, "Oh no, don't go out there." Like kind of hoping that she would get killed. So just, it's stuff like that. It was just very funny. I had a great time with this, edge of my seat for most of this movie. And I did like, they jump in, and in a movie like this, you're going to get that party scene. So many movies have the stereotypical party scene that is just dumb, boring, people drinking, playing dumb games. This was a legit college frat party. The cast was huge for it. I really liked it. I can't believe until a week ago, I'd never even heard of this. Well, I guess I'd heard of it because it was on my shelf, but I'd never thought to even watch it or knew anything about it.
Yeah, it's the opening scene you think is a slasher moment because the girl runs out of the house and the guy, but then she just goes, "Steve, give me back my shirt," and then he's like, "Come and get it," and the camera follows them in, and it's dark, and as it gets in there, all of a sudden it's a massive like pajama party. And one of the girls has the flap down and her butt's all going up and down on a trampoline.
Yes.
Some of the other girls are writing on one of the girls who's like standing on something, and they're writing like "fat, cut, get rid of this." They're being very, telling her that her body is bad. And it's just so perfect. And then our lead actress, who is a dancer in real life, they had her join in on this dance for like a second, because that's what she's known for, I guess. She was in Honey or some of those movies, was it, I don't know, what Setup or whatever those movies are. And it's great because that then leads us through the house, and we see the guys and they're all drinking and the girls are drinking. And there's a character named Jugs that I love. And she's a massive alcoholic, and she sleeps with everybody. And one of the guys says, "Hey, Jugs, give me a beer and a blowjob." And she just walks right up to him and throws the beer in his face. And everybody's like congratulating her because the guy is a dick. It's just great. Yeah. It's just a great film. And the camera goes upstairs and follows our characters. And that's when we meet all the girls. And Rumor Willis is one of the best things in this, as she keeps screaming at everything. Like, the head of the sorority place, sister goes, well, we better go find her before she sees what's on the phone. And then you hear the scream off the screen, and they're like, "Too late."
Yeah.
It's the dialogue is perfect. So if you guys out there have not seen this, you really need to. And even Scream Queens, which is Ryan Murphy. So you're getting like a gay guy writing for these sorority girls. Emma Roberts is perfect in that. And then Black Xmas is the same thing. The sorority girls dialogue is how they just banter between each other. And they're so mean that it's hilarious. And I love Sorority Row. I could watch Sorority Row any day over I Know What You Did Last Summer, even though that came out first.
Yeah. I thought about putting in I Know What You Did Last Summer, and then I was just like, no, I'm going to hate it after this. Yeah. What? And sorry, not to cut you off, but I do want to get a couple of comments here.
Yes.
Jennifer loves it. That's awesome.
Yes,
and
Jennifer,
she says there's a bunch of hot chicks and it's a fun time. What more could you want from a movie? Not much.
No, it's perfect.
Much, right?
It's a perfect film.
Yeah, exactly. And let's see. Jeff says just rewatched Hello Mary Lou Prom Night 2 worth a watch. I like Michael Ironside. Michael Ironside's great.
Yes.
I thought there was a couple more comments on this. Maybe not. Robert C says, I heard that Daniel Day-Lewis was being eyed to play Magneto. All I know is Denzel shared that on his Instagram today. So things change apparently. But let's see here. Question for John. What's your take on the movie Jawbreaker 1999?
It's funny. It's great seeing Marilyn Manson without all the makeup on, because he was, dating what's her face? Tatum, who died in Scream, the first Scream movie with the big boobs. He was dating her at the time, and I like the film. It's like Heathers. There's a few of those movies that came out at that time, and I like Jawbreaker. I thought it was good. It's got a good soundtrack. So
nice. Have you guys seen a movie called Cape Fear 1991? Man, I want to say that I've seen that, but it probably was in 1991. So I don't remember squadoosh about it. You got thoughts on it?
Yeah, it's a good remake. The original is stupendous. It is absolutely great. I put it right up there with like Night of the Hunter and some of these other movies. But the remake it's Scorsese and Robert De Niro and Nick Nolte. Juliette Lewis plays the daughter, and it's good. It's a very good remake. Yeah,
that is definitely ringing bells to me now. I know I've seen that. Yes, but it's just
Rose McGowan. Thank you.
How could you forget Rose? I got Rose McGowan's autograph right over there with Nev Campbell. They're on the same picture. How do you forget Rose McGowan? Man, McGowan.
I'm old.
And that's a very valid excuse. Rose McGowan, she had kind of a bad rap before, like, she started doing conventions and stuff. Maybe people were saying that she was off-putting, and not like Zach Galifianakis should be off-putting because he's fat, but like she's off-putting. But in person, I thought she was a sweetheart. She was very, very gracious. She had a long ass line, so she wasn't going to stand there and chop it up with everybody and talk forever. But I thought she was really great. So it was very cool meeting her in person.
Nice.
Have y'all ever seen the movie Mutant with Wings Hauser?
Oh my God, yes. I own Mutant. Roger Corman had to change the title of his movie Mutant to Forbidden World. And so Forbidden World and Mutant get confused because there is a poster for Mutant from Roger Corman. I love Mutant. I love Wings Hauser. He's right up there with Robert Ginty. We used to watch all of his movies, and even Cole Hauser, I'm a big fan of. I love Wings Hauser. Yeah, he is awesome.
Mutant.
In fact, in my pickups, I have a Wings Hauser movie right here. So we'll take a look at that.
So 1984 movie, right? Mutant.
Yeah, it's pretty early 80s. Yeah.
Okay.
It's zombies. It's a zombie movie.
Gotcha. Watching a bit of the trailer to see. Oh, yeah. I saw and it wasn't too long ago, maybe last year, that I watched that movie.
Yeah, nothing will beat Wings Hauser from Vice Squad, where he plays a character named Ramrod. That's where we all got to know him from.
Yeah. I like Mutant. Yes. Rest in peace, Wings Hauser. Yes.
Yeah, he died recently.
Yeah. Off-putting. Yeah. Everybody's seen that with Jennifer Lawrence telling Zach Galifianakis he should be off-putting because he's fat. Between Two Ferns.
I love Between Two Ferns.
Yeah. John recommend you watch the movie Lover's Lane 1999.
Well, which is directed by John Ward.
Different John Ward?
Yeah, it's Jon Ward. Yeah, it's
nice. That's funny.
I own it. I've seen it a few times. It's Anna Faris. That's like one of her first films, and it is a urban legend movie. So yeah, I liked it.
See, and that has been on my list forever. But do you have the Arrow video release, or did you have an earlier version of it?
Probably earlier. It's DVD. I don't
Okay.
think there's like
So
anything on it, no special features or anything.
I've been looking for a cheap version of Lover's Lane because even like at Zia, when you do see Lover's Lane, it's an Arrow video release and it's like $30 or something. So I haven't
Oh,
picked it up yet, but it's been on my list forever here, along with The Love Butcher, which is a Code Red release.
the Love Butcher, yeah.
Yeah, and many other movies on my list there. But
Yeah, we can have it. That's a good one.
Optimus, what's up? Watched Thunderbolts on Saturday. Was so good. Nice.
Good.
Yes. I've not seen it yet because frankly, I just don't give a shit.
Don't care.
But I've heard nothing but good things, so maybe I will check it out. So we shall see. Oh, at some point or another, I'll watch it.
It was. I thought it was. It's better than a lot of them, but it's
okay. So I want to mention one other thing, and then we'll talk about your pickups. We'll dive into your pickups. How about that? Sound fair?
Sure.
So last week and for a while, everybody's been pushing me to watch a particular franchise. I watched the first one a while back and I did not give two shits about it. And then last week, you guys were like, oh, you got to watch part 2. You got to watch part 3. So I dusted off Chucky and I watched part 2. Overall, I say the same things I said about the first one. It's a very well put together movie. I do like this better than the first one. I still am not a fan of the franchise. I thought the beginning where, Chucky's just a doll sitting there, but the guy gets electrocuted. I thought that was great. There were some other kind of, things that happened that I kind of liked, but then Chucky on the kid's back, making the kid run and jump in the truck. I'm like, hey kid, how about this? Just jump up in the air and land on your back and squish him, or grab his arms and flip him off. Yeah. I have a problem with this doll thing. Anyways, I understand why everybody likes the Chucky movies. It's just not for me. But my big knocks on this movie, in which I have a tendency when I'm watching movies and I have issues, I'll message John in the middle and I'll start bitching about a movie. The biggest flaws with this movie are when they're in the factory at the end. They all of a sudden she's like, well, we have to go up this set of roller things that the Chucky dolls are rolling down. And we have to go up to the top just to go down the other side. What the flying fuck? You clearly see they could have just went under that, but no, they had to go up and over. I don't know why. And then there's another part where the machine that's coming down, popping the eyeballs in the doll. They're like, oh, we have to go through here and we have to time it just right to get through there so we don't get that thing squishing us. Okay, that's kind of cool, except for the fact that they could have just went around the fucking machine. So I didn't like that. I did like how the security guard, got killed in there and got the eyeballs poked in. I thought that was kind of cool. But all in all, I just don't give a shit about Chucky and House of G Fam. I like Christina Elise. She's cool, but she doesn't do anything for me. She's not like, I don't look at her as like I would have thought they would have picked like a really hot chick. And in my opinion, I don't know her. I've been at a convention where she was there. I didn't get her autograph or anything. I'm sure she's a very cool person. She didn't do anything for me in this movie. She was cool, but like the movie wasn't bad. I'm not trashing the movie, and I totally understand why everybody likes it. It's just not for me. This franchise is not for me. Maybe someday, if you guys bug me enough, I'll watch part 3 because supposedly that's in a military school or something.
I just think if you don't like it, just don't watch it. I mean, you're
that's
just wasting
where I'm at.
Yeah, like 90 minutes of your time. Yeah, so it's my favorite franchise as far as slasher movies go. I look over all that type of stuff because you're correct. You're right. They're in the doll making factory. all they're making is that one Chucky, which factories don't do. They make multiple
Correct.
dolls.
Correct.
And if there are workers in the warehouse, they would be up on it, they'd be around it, they would be over here, over there. So they would be walking around the whole place. So yeah, why they couldn't just go, oh, look, there's rollers here that we're going to slide down. Well, let's just get off this conveyor belt and just walk around it. I mean, you're absolutely correct. So I'm assuming that when they were location scouting, they said, okay, this place is going to work. Oh, look, we can have them in this, we can have them in that. They're going to do this. And we're just going to ignore the fact that, and we'll shoot it in such a way that it looks like they have to be on it,
Yeah.
So, but I get it.
Yeah. No, and that's what but I totally understand why everybody likes the Chucky movies. They're it's a fun ride. I get that, but it's just, just like monster movies, just don't do nothing for me. In general. So maybe that's the same kind of principality. So common sense doesn't really apply to horror movies, Jeff says. See, and that's when I really like a good horror movie, when common sense does apply. If there's a situation that somebody can't get themselves out of for a good reason, you are speaking to my heart right there. That's what I want. I want a horror movie that makes sense. Somebody making the dumb decision, those things bug me. So I that's why I really love movies, like Silence of the Lambs. There's no dumb decisions in that movie. It's a killer and another killer trying to get out of jail by helping the FBI catch this other killer, kind of thing, and all this. But I don't know. But I get it. I'm not knocking the franchise. I'm just saying it's not for me. So anyways, I wanted to talk about that. I will not watch part 3 now, maybe later. I won't. And part 3, I think a lot of people said they really liked part 3. Which one is your favorite? Did you say part 2, John? Or have you ever picked a favorite?
Part 2 is kind of is Don Mancini asked. He put a poll out there saying, what is your favorite Chucky movie? People said part 2. So that's what he kind of based the TV series off of, was that filming style, that sense of humor, the murders and all that type of stuff. If I had to watch one over and over, God, I don't know if I could pick one. I don't.
Okay.
That's difficult.
Mario says Sorority Row, great movie. I'm happy I have it on Blu-ray. Nice. Yeah. Jealous. I need to have it on Blu-ray.
Probably looks
good. And
that's
good. You don't have to have a favorite. That's your favorite franchise, so you're gonna love them all. Same thing with Antonis. I'd be curious to know if Antonis has a favorite Chucky movie. So I have
There is a question in here. Somebody is asking about Xmas.
Yeah. Go ahead, explain what Xmas is.
Well, I have it right here. There are 2 films that I've made, and Philip is part of them. I have, what's the first one? Oh, here we go. They're these here. So Xmas 1 and 2, they're 30 minutes. It's a killer Santa inside a storage facility. These are from Scream Time Films. They're filled with tons of extras. And Philip is in this one, part 2. And he was one of the producers on it. And he acted in it. And then this is part 1. Part 2 is better, I think. But yeah, you get these from Scream Time Films. They're on
I got mine over here.
Tubi. They're on YouTube. They're on Freebie. They're on a bunch of platforms. So, but yeah, it's my franchise. So that I created.
Oh, yeah, here you go. Here you go. House of G-Fam knows what's up. Monty Chapman steals the show. There's no question about that.
Thank you. That's true.
There's no question about that. Right. Thank you, House of G-Fam.
Will be back.
Yes. Antonis says Bride of Chucky is his favorite. Very cool.
That is a really good one. Yeah.
Okay. Nice. So John, on the app here, I have a message I need to give you. Do you see where we have our over on the far right where we have a private chat? Far, far, far right. All the way over.
My right is this way. Oh, private chat. Yes. Should I
Yeah,
click
don't
on that?
read that. Don't read it out loud, but I just wanted you to see that.
Okay. Gotcha.
So, anyways, well, we've got to get to John's pickups, but let me say one other thing here really quick. And this I won't take long on. I just watched Infinity Pool, and I've had this for a while, and I've been meaning to watch it, and I just watched it, and I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was so well put together. Have you seen this yet, John?
Yes, I did not like it.
Ooh. This is another one of those son directors. So like we are falling in love with Oz Perkins. This is Brandon Cronenberg. You didn't care for Infinity Pool, huh?
I like Brandon Cronenberg. I thought Possessor is a great movie. I've seen it like 5
need to get
times.
that,
I
yeah.
absolutely love Possessor. So when I saw Infinity Pool, I was let down.
Wow.
Maybe I
okay.
need to watch it again because I at the time I had no idea who Mia Goth was. I had absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
So maybe I need to rewatch it.
Love Mia Goth. She's great. And she is fucked up in this movie. So anyways, I liked Infinity Pool. I bought it on Steelbook because I got it for a good price a while back. And now I finally watched it. So I just wanted to put that out there. Infinity Pool, OGP approved. John Ward, not so much.
Correct.
So, anyways, John, would you care to enlighten us? Oh, pardon me. I am very burpy. So I just bought this. I've never tried this before. Dr. Pepper, strawberries and cream, 0 sugar. I thought I would mix it up and try something different.
Uh-huh.
And it's pretty tasty. It's not something I could chug like a Diet Coke or water or something. It's kind of a little thicker. It's like Diet Coke would be my Coors Light. This would be like Sam Adams or something. But it gives me a lot of burps. So forgive me for having a little burpy burps. Go. I interrupted you. I apologize. You have pickups to show,
No.
do you not?
I do. I have 10.
Ooh.
And so I'm going to be interviewing Lee Scott. And he's a filmmaker. He worked a lot with The Asylum back in the early days. I think he still does stuff with him. But I wanted to interview him for a while. And so I watched some of his movies on Tubi. Some of them I've already seen. Some I haven't, but I just kind of wanted to refresh my memory on some of them. And I know some of them also have audio commentary. So I wanted to listen to that. So I went to Zia Records to see what they had, and along with picking up some Asylum movies, I grabbed some other films too. You're pointing at me,
you bastard, going to Zia Records without me.
I ended up going twice.
You get 2 fingers in, double bastard.
Well, I was only going to pick up one. Well, I asked for 2 films, and they only had one, which was Frankenstein Reborn. And I found it on eBay, but with like tax and shipping and handling, it was like $15. So when I called Z, I'm like, well, how much is it? They're like, oh, it's $4.99. I'm like, hold it for me. I'll be down there. So after work, I went, found a bunch of other movies, walked out, and completely forgot to buy Frankenstein Reborn.
Oops.
Son of a bitch. So I went back the next day, which would have been Sunday, and bought more movies on top of Frankenstein Unbound. And
shame
so
on
I'll
you.
show those next week. But
Okay.
what I got this time, so we'll start with the Asylum films, and we'll go through these. So some of these are not Lee Scott. Like this one is Dan Lusko, so it's not him, but it's obviously their Godzilla, King Kong, ripoff. Their mockbuster, Ape vs. Monster. So I picked that one up because it kind of looked fun, and there are some sequels to it. This is Lee Scott, which is King of the Lost World. So their King Kong movie. And it does have audio commentary, cast and crew. So I got that. So I'm going to watch this and then listen to the audio commentary. This is not Lee Scott, but it's the first film that the Asylum actually produced. Like I guess they bought the script and produced it, and that's Death Valley: The Revenge of Bloody Bill.
That looks like out of what you've shown so far, the first one that I may be able to watch.
Oh, okay.
The
All
others
right.
just don't seem too up my alley, but that one maybe.
Oh, because the other ones are monster.
Yeah, and kind of,
This
and not only that,
guy.
but they're like asylum monster.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting because I watched Transmorphers, and at the very beginning of it, you see the robots, because it's the ripoff on Transformers. You see them for like 10 seconds, 20 seconds, and I'm like, okay, I bet that's it. That's it. That's all we're gonna see of them. That's it. But no, halfway through the movie, all of a sudden there's like hundreds of Transformers.
Nice.
And they're all computer generated, but at least there's a ton of them.
Yeah. Let me get. Sorry, I'm gonna hit a couple comments here real quick. Hope you have a good week, OGP and John. Thank you, Jam and Music Man.
Oh, thank you.
Have yourself a good night. Jeff says Infinity Pool has been on my watch list forever. I need to hurry up. You definitely do. I think personally, I think it's worth a watch. I really enjoyed it. Have you guys watched Survivalist with Mia Goth? Slow pace but good. I have not. No, don't know of it, but I'll check it out.
I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Like
Sorry,
her.
go ahead, John. Yes.
Oh no, it's okay. What's nice about Wikipedia is somebody went in there and actually listed the films that these rip off. So which is kind of cool. And so when you watch the was it like The King of the Lost World, it isn't just ripping off King Kong, but it's ripping off Jurassic Park and all these other movies. So this one is a ripoff on your buddy's movie, The Martian, and that's Martian Land. It's got a good cover on it.
Is that my buddy Matt Damon?
Yeah.
Okay. Because me and Matty go way back.
You do. This is one I'm surprised I found. And unfortunately, it does not have audio commentary, but I will be talking to Lee Scott about it. And that's the 9/11 Commission Report.
Oh, yeah. You were telling me about that. Sounds interesting.
I think it is the best Asylum movie. It takes place before 9/11 and takes place after 9/11.
Okay.
So I thought it was pretty good. It's more of a drama, as they try to kind of piece everything together. But I thought that it was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah. Okay.
Now that finishes the Asylum. Okay. And then while I was there, I found some Roger Corman. So I collect the Roger Corman Concord Pictures movie. So I got Raptor. Because he made this around the same time as Carnosaur. There's 3 of those. And then he made this, and obviously it's, Jurassic Park. So, in fact, there's Carnosaur right there.
I have, and I'm sorry. I know I always cut you off. I apologize.
You're fine.
But I have a couple different Roger Corman collections up on my shelf. Maybe one day we'll do watch a couple Roger Corman movies and talk about them.
Yeah, and it says Eric Roberts, who you worked with.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I told Eric Roberts when to stop the car. Yeah, I was like, when I go like this, you slow down and stop. And he's like, check me out. I'm going to try and fucking run you over.
Good for him.
Yeah.
And then this one I used to make fun of, and I'm going to have to look to see what the vampire collection is for Roger Corman. But this is Roger Corman Presents Dracula Rising. And I remember making fun of it because Christopher Atkins plays Dracula. And you may or may not know who he is, but he's like an 80s guy. Not
is that
very serious.
Dracula with a goatee? Like facial hair?
I think that it's meant to be. Yeah, but he doesn't have one here.
Okay. Maybe, yeah, because that's weird. The artwork on the front is very interesting. You said, what's his name? Christopher Atkins?
Yeah. He was also in like Paradise. He was just, I think he worked with Scott Baio.
The guy from Blue Lagoon?
Yeah. Is it Blue Lagoon? Okay, so it's not Paradise. It's Blue Lagoon. Okay.
Pirate movie, A Night in Heaven.
And he does play Dracula in this.
Guardian Angel, Lake of Fire. Yeah. Oh wow. He's still, as of 2023, was still at. Oh, and he has 4 upcoming movies out for Vengeance, Prism,
Okay.
Curse of Gorgon. What? So, anyways, yeah. Okay, I know who you're talking about. Very cool.
Yeah, and I thought, because it does say here that he plays Dracula, and I thought it was interesting that he has blonde hair, because in the Hammer movies, Bride of Dracula, he's the character isn't Dracula. He's like an offshoot of Dracula. He's like a part of like the Dracula cult, basically, and he has blonde hair. And then when they did Dracula 2000, the sequel to that, Dracula 2: The Ascension, the Dracula in that is blonde. And that's my favorite one of those 3 because of that, because it reminded me of Bride of Dracula, or Brides of Dracula. So I'm interested in watching this to see, if they keep the blonde hair or not.
Yeah, blonde hair Dracula. That is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see,
Yeah, you see, yeah. You think you're a tough guy, eh?
Hey,
and now we come to Wings Hauser.
There you go. How about that?
Yeah, when I saw this, I thought it was going to be like $30, and I was just going to put it back. No, it was like $5. So this is Wings Hauser. It's uncut. It's The Carpenter.
Hey. Do I own that movie? I gotta go take a look and see if I own that movie.
It's part of Katrina's Nightmare Theater. She's like an Elvira ripoff. Luckily, I guess people got tired of her interrupting the film like Elvira. And so
that's funny.
Yeah, which is really annoying. Now she does the you can get it with her interrupting it, or you can get it without her interrupting it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's a good option.
Yeah, so
I don't own The Carpenter. Damn it! I'm putting that on my list while you're talking here.
Yeah, anything with Wings Hauser, I will pick up.
Yeah.
Now this one, I messaged you endlessly about this.
Okay.
I hate this film with a passion. I am going to do a reviews after midnight on it, probably for next month. And this was the biggest letdown. I mean, this is every decision in this movie is wrong. Everyone. And the behind the scenes, my God, they work their asses off. You see them rehearsing. You see them blocking. They're doing script readings. They're walking around and finding locations. I'm like, oh, okay, because I thought the dialogue was all ad-libbed. I thought it was all made up. No, they got a full script. And I'm like, what? How is this film so bad? When I'm seeing them putting in this 100% effort.
Yeah.
And I got it. And it was it was in a like buy 2 for $3 type of thing. So I looked at it and I went, oh, this looks kind of interesting. So it's called Night Zero. And you're seeing like a guy with like a big gun. He looks like some sort of like futuristic guy. Got another person here. But then you're seeing something like an asteroid or a meteorite go through the Statue of Liberty. And I'm like, oh, maybe this is an end of the world. So I read the back of it. And it says, I was sold. This thing went right into the pile. It's friends having a party. Aliens invade. What we try to kill the aliens with is now bringing the dead back to life. Because the aliens are killing people. Now we have zombies and aliens. I'm like, I'm sold. But then I realized, because it says like a dinner party turns deadly when a group of friends are trapped inside their house after a massive alien invasion threatens to take over the world. Things turn for the worst when they discover that the chemical the military is using to destroy the aliens is also turning humans into zombie-like savages. Now the group must band together and try to survive the night. I completely misread this part. If they don't kill each other first, one, I was sold. Aliens, military, zombies. Oh my God, this is going to be great. What they meant by if they don't kill each other first is, and this is when I told you, you would hate this movie. From beginning to end, they argue, they fight, They hate each other. Why are these people together? Why are they hanging out? It begins with a couple wanting to get a divorce. It ends with those two people trying to kill each other. It's I don't understand, and I am in complete agreement with you about the whole why people hate each other. Why are they together? Because this goes back to something like Die Hard, with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Why have John McClane getting divorced? He's hungover, and he's just like miserable through the whole friggin' movie. Here's an idea. He's with his wife. They don't get divorced. It's their anniversary. He wants to get back to her to go out to dinner or whatever it is. He's not drunk or hungover, but he has to deal with these bombs.
Yeah.
But it's the best day of his life until that.
Yeah.
Why make characters miserable from the beginning of the movie on? I only like the beginning, and I kind of like the end because they just ripped off the ending of Resident Evil. And but it is, I'm keeping it because it's got zombies, and I'm going to make a video. I truly hate this movie. I absolutely hate it.
Movies where people hate each other. I don't know what's going on right now if we're losing internet or something, but our viewers just went. Hopefully everybody can still see us okay. But even Black Bag, this new movie, Black Bag, just came out this year. It starts out, I mean, basically the whole movie it's about like 6 people, and they all hate each other's guts. So, like, what the fuck? Like, why are we eating dinner together if we hate each other? So that stuff just drives me nuts.
Yeah. And then the last one is, as you know, and maybe people don't know, I am collecting the Night of the Living Dead DVDs to find the worst copy that I possibly can.
Oh, yeah.
And because to me, that is how the film should be shown. It's great to have the Criterion version where it's crystal clear, but you could see the lines in like the fake hand and all that stuff that they get in the door where they cut it off with the knife. I think Night of the Living Dead the original should be looked at like a documentary. It should be the crappiest version possible. Picture, sound, the film should be really scratchy and maybe even broken. So I am on. So this is now, I think, probably my 4th or 5th copy that I purchased. I mostly got it because I like the cover. I like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool.
And it was only like $2.99, so I figured why not. But it's not going to be the worst because this is Echo Bridge.
Oh yeah.
So they're not going to release
That's
the worst
newer.
copy of this.
Yeah.
But it is my favorite movie of all time, and
there you go.
Well, my second. The Graduate's my first, but as far as horror movies,
favorite horror. Yeah.
So I absolutely love this film, and
nice.
So the the search continues for the worst. So
nice. Wicked Network says it's been cutting off due to the ads. I need to restart it all the time. I'll take a look at the ad settings. Every time I go in to look at the setup for the videos and everything, it's always different. YouTube is changing stuff all the time. So if you guys are getting hit with a lot of ads tonight, I apologize. Maybe that's why we're losing everybody. But feed looks great. Thanks, House of G fam. Had the same problem with the ads tonight. Wow. Okay. That sucks. That's a bummer. I am sorry about those ads.
Sorry,
I'm going to
guys.
I'll go in and take a look at that. It should be like an ad at the beginning and an ad at the end. And I think if we go maybe like every half hour or hour or something like that, but you shouldn't be getting hit with that many. I'm sorry. Dracula actually had facial hair in the novel. Yes, he did. And that's so like with the new Nosferatu movie, Master Chaos hated the fact that we gave Dracula facial hair. But if you go back to the novel, he actually had facial hair. So
yeah, that's Jess Franco made a Count Dracula with Christopher Lee, and he says because Christopher Lee is an avid Dracula fan, like for the book, and he played it. He liked the book, so he's got the mustache, and so he considers that to be his best. Oh, actually, I have one more, but it's not a movie.
Okay. One second.
Okay.
I just turned ads off. So hopefully nobody sees any more ads. I just turned the monetization off. So hopefully that stops that shit. Sorry, guys.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Jeff. I did not read your. Yeah. So you just. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't have my glasses on, so things are blurry. But yeah. He just posted what I said, or I said what he just posted. So this is my last thing here, and
Okay.
I'm happy that I found it. I found it at Ross, and for people who don't know, Ross does carry Funko Pops. There is a kids area, and the shelves are a disaster. And if you look through them, you could find some cool Funko Pops. So this is a half hate purchase because I didn't hate this show as much as everybody else did, but it does suck. It still sucks.
Okay.
And that is Secret Invasion, and this is the villain from it. So I picked him up. The box and everything looks really nice. So this is Gravik. He's the bad guy in it. And I cannot stand these aliens.
Is that a Marvel show?
Yeah.
Okay. I've never heard of Secret Invasion.
Yeah, it's got Samuel L. Jackson. It takes place, I think, after or right before the Marvels.
So it's relatively new. It's a newer show then.
Yeah, and everybody calls it one of the worst shows.
Oh, interesting.
So
interesting.
The Krill, I think is what they're called. I hate them. I hate these guys, which is why it's like a half a purchase. I know what they're doing. They're trying to do the illegal immigrant thing with them. You know, and I'm not buying into it. So I do not like these characters at all. I don't like that some of the big Marvel characters that we've seen are these, that they're actually fake, that the entire time that we've been watching them, it's been one of these guys. I don't like it. But this was originally $13 and I only bought it for $4.99.
Nice. There you go.
The sticker, so I kept the sticker. It's right there. So, and what's weird, and there is a because I saw it at Zia, there is a Samuel L. Jackson one for Nick Fury, and I wanted that, but it was like the price of like $15.
Wow.
So
yeah, well, I mean, Sam Jackson. Dominic, what's cracking? Dominic, how you doing? Well, that's some good pickups, and you're continuing with your hate buy madness over there. That's great.
Yes.
You need to get it autographed someday. Who plays it? Who would you get it autographed by? Any idea? Is it a famous actor? Okay.
I mean, I guess it would just have to be the actor that plays the character that plays Gravik. But yeah, I don't know who I'd get to sign this. So I mean, I guess you could get Kevin Feige to sign it too.
Yeah.
Eventually, maybe one day. It's just fun kind of finding these.
Yeah, no, hate buys they're very funny. They're very funny. So we've been doing something over the past few weeks, and that is we have been watching a Bourne movie a week, following along with Mr. Sunday Movies as they review each of the movies. And this week was the Bourne Legacy, which is the only one that does not have Matt Damon. It has Jeremy Renner instead. And it is a great movie, in my opinion. The Mr. Sunday Movies, which I keep saying I'm going to put a link to them, but I never do. Google or just search on YouTube, Mr. Sunday Movies. You'll find them. Watch the movie, listen to their review. It's always very funny. John, what are your thoughts? Let's talk about the movie first before we talk about Mr. Sunday Movies thoughts.
It's my second favorite. I still think Bourne Ultimatum is my favorite.
Okay.
But I think Legacy is my second favorite. And that includes Jason Bourne. So out of all the movies, it's my second favorite one.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know where I'd rate it. It's so tough because 1, 2, and 3, I love them all. I like 1 and 2 better than 3. So this would definitely be at least my third favorite, if not my second favorite. But it's kind of a different movie in the sense that Jason Bourne lost his memory and he's in each movie trying to figure out more about his past, more about why these people are doing these things to him. This guy is just like, oh shit, they're trying to kill me. And if I don't get my pills, I'm going to die anyways. So I have these two problems. So it's a little bit different of a movie, but the bad guys are still kind of the same bad guys. So they're from the same bad guy tree. So, but this is action. It's the longest so far. I don't know how Jason Bourne is, but I think this is the longest of the franchise.
That's what they said. Yeah.
Okay. At 2 hours and 15 minutes or so. But it goes by fast. It's very action packed from the get-go all the way to the end. And it does have a very good cast. Oscar Isaac's in it and Scott Glenn. And so we even get an Edward Norton, excuse me, Jesus Christ. I love Edward Norton. But we even get clips or like pictures of Matt Damon as Jason Bourne, or like I think there's a flashback to Brian Cox, as one of the bad guys and stuff. So we see them, even though they're not significant parts of the film, but what they are and who they are kind of plays a role as to what's going on here. So the cast in this, if they put Matt Damon in this movie, this would clearly be the best cast. Because I mean, Edward Norton and Jeremy Renner, I'm sold.
Well, did you notice that there's a reunion in this movie? An American History X reunion? Stacy Keach and Edward Norton.
Who is Stacy Keach, the girl that's with him all the time?
No, Stacy Keach is a guy.
Oh.
No, have you seen American History X?
Oh no, wait, my picture's up there. Yeah,
So-
I have yeah.
So the racist guy who's like the leader of all of them, who gives Edward Norton shit for not wanting to be racist anymore. That's Stacy Keach. And in this, he's like Edward Norton's boss.
Okay. Oh. Whoa, fuck you, IMDb.
But I love Legacy, and it's different. It's there's like a motorcycle chase that is great with a guy who hits like a pillar. That's just amazing as his bike explodes and he just tumbles and he's dead when he hits the ground. I like that it's not another Jason Bourne, that he's another guy who's lost his memory. I like that he knows. I mean, to a degree, he doesn't know because they messed with his brain. But it's different. It's just not a retread.
Yes. You are right. I do like that it's kind of different and that it's not just him trying to figure out his memory. But okay, I just looked up Stacy Keach. I forgot that he was like the guy in American History X, but looking at the picture, I know exactly who you're talking about now. But that's cool because I got Eddie Furlong sign the picture of American History X for me. So
I got to see Stacy Keach and Maxwell Comfield, who's known for Grease 2. I got to see them live on stage. They did a production of Sleuth, and my mom went with me in San Francisco. And I still have it. I have the playbill that Stacy Keach signed. And we didn't get to see Maxwell Comfield, but I told my mom was in love with Stacy Keach at that time. Like she would watch anything with him. And that's the whole reason why we went, was because of her. And I said, let's go around to the back because he's probably going to leave through the back. And she's like, okay. So we're waiting out in the back. And I brought a pin with me on purpose. Like maybe I could get him to sign this. And he popped out through the back. And I said, Mr. Keach, would you mind? You did a great job. Love you. Can you sign my playbill? Which he did. And I told him, my mom's like ready to jump him. And I tell Stacy Keach, I'm like, my mom loves you. Like, you are the thing. You're the guy.
Nice.
And so he went up. And of course, this is when you could do this and not get canceled, is he went up and gave her a big ass kiss.
Oh, nice.
And I thought my mom was going to melt like butter. And he's just like, thank you for coming. And my mom's like, and he left. He walked down, I guess, to his car or whoever was picking, maybe a taxi. I've never seen my mom act like a 15-year-old, maybe like she met a beetle, it was funny. Just, funny. So
he flooded your mom's basement.
Yes, he did. Oh, yes, absolutely.
That's funny. Look at Wet Movie One dropped in. He says, I know I probably missed you guys talking about this, but I love the new Final Destination movie. What about you? I thought the movie was a lot of fun. I love it. John, not so much. But we did talk about it earlier tonight, but I thought it was great. The kills are phenomenal. There's some issues. The CGI is pretty terrible at the beginning, but it was pretty good. But man, Wet Movie One, are we going to get a video? Because Wet Movie One just went to a convention at the Ontario Convention Center yesterday. Are we going to get a video from that anytime soon, sir? But let's we'll kind of deviate back to, while we're waiting for an answer from Wet One. Born Legacy.
I think because I did not like Final Destination Bloodlines, that Wet Movie One should spank me.
Oh, you're just looking for any excuse to be spanked by him.
That's true.
Yeah, I get it. But Born Legacy, all in all, like, and this is I'm trying to think like what I rated these movies and where I'm at, but this to me is easily a 4-star movie, 4 out of 5. Do you have a score for it?
I would give it that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's great movie. So now, and so again, if you guys haven't seen the Bourne movies, the Bourne franchise, I highly recommend it. It is my favorite franchise. And the 4K box set, I absolutely love. It's got like a music CD with it and some other stuff in there. But this is a great box set. If you can get your hands on this, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, it's a great series.
Absolutely love it. So, Mr. Sunday Movies addressed one of the things. The elephant in the room with the Bourne Legacy was we didn't have Matt Damon. We had Jeremy Renner. After that movie, all of us Bourne fanatics were like, holy shit, we need a Jeremy Renner, Matt Damon Bourne movie with both of them. And I would love it. Hopefully, maybe someday it happens. Unfortunately, it probably won't. And there's wherever they heard, I missed where they heard it, but Mr. Sunday Movies says that Matt Damon says he could not imagine Jason Bourne and Alex. It's not Alex Cross, but whatever
his last name is Cross. It's not Jeremy.
Maybe it is Alex Cross. I thought maybe it is Alex Cross because I think it's Alex. Or something else that starts. It's something with an A. But Matt Damon says he could not imagine those two characters in the same world. I don't know why he couldn't, but I would love to see it because I love those two actors and I love this franchise. So I think that would be just the coolest shit ever.
And since they are planning on making another one with the state that Jeremy Renner is in, he could at least have some sort of cameo or do something, because that was, when Marvel screwed him over on doing, Hawkeye season 2, the interview I saw with him, he goes, one, they wanted to only give me half the amount of money, but he goes, I'm glad that actually I didn't do it because I don't think my body is ready for it. So I don't think that he is ever going to play Hawkeye again. I don't think he's going to do action until his body fully heals, and it's still healing, I guess. But I would love to see something with them, because if you look at, let's say, the XXX movies, you had the first one with Vin Diesel. He had a massive ego and chose not to come back for the second one. So then they got Ice Cube. That one didn't do as well. And then the stuff with Vin Diesel probably wasn't doing that great either. So then he came back for the third one, but Ice Cube was in it. So they teamed up together. Okay. And so it's more Vin Diesel's character, but Ice Cube is in the movie. I think maybe like through the last half of the film.
Okay.
So it's nice that they acknowledge that, you know, that the Ice Cube character and movie is in that universe.
Yeah.
So, and I think maybe Matt Damon could do the same thing. Don't have an ego, dude. Just have the guy come in and
I wonder about that. I wonder if I can't imagine Matt Damon having an ego about it, but maybe he does. Happy Sanjo, what's up? How you doing?
Hey.
Sorry.
Hi.
And forgot about man. I love body bags. And here's the thing: I suck with names and people and stuff and drawing connections without actually doing the homework. But Stacy Keach was man, I don't even remember which segment he would be in. Was he the one at the house? I can't remember, but in John Carpenter's Body Bags. I only remember
the Mark Hamill one. That's all I remember.
Yeah, man, John Carpenter's Body Bags is so good. Love that show, or you know, the movie, the show. Shane O'Leary, what's up, Shane? How you doing?
Hi.
And let's see here. Okay, Web Movie One says, yeah, the video is up for my channel members. Will be available for everyone in a few days. So Web Movies video from the convention yesterday. So there you go. Very cool. So yeah, with the Bourne, hey, hopefully we get it. I don't know, but and I don't know if there's. I've never heard of anything about Matt Damon on set having an ego. Have you?
No.
Or being like hard to work with or anything?
But it's weird is, you know, Mr. Sunday Movies, what they said was that Matt Damon could not see the two characters being in the same movie again, but yet he never saw the movie. He's like, oh, I haven't seen the film yet, but I can't imagine the two characters being together, but I like Jeremy Renner, so I'll see it at some point. And it's like, huh? What? That's kind of a weird thing to say.
Well, but that may have just been a shot at Tony Gilroy, because Matt Damon does not like Tony Gilroy,
no,
and that is like probably why he wasn't in the fourth one, because he wanted nothing to do with it. And I think maybe Tony Gilroy said that he directed it because Matt Damon kind of left. I wonder if it was, I think, just my thoughts, if I'm a producer and I go, okay, I can have Tony Gilroy direct, or I can have Matt Damon. Fuck off, Tony Gilroy. We're putting Matt Damon because he's the one everybody's going to be looking at. But I mean, Jeremy Renner did phenomenal. I love Jeremy Renner. I think he's great.
Yeah, and it's nice that it's connected. It's there because, as they point out, it's the movie in the movie in the movie. So it's legacy, and then it fits into Ultimatum, which also then fits into Supremacy. So it's, which I never even thought of when I originally saw the movies. I just figured Supremacy is here, maybe 6 months, a year later, Ultimatum takes place, you know, that type of thing. I had no idea until I watched them this time that they were that connected.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. The in-betweenquels, and how they kind of play with each other. But I think Matt Damon and Jeremy Renner could totally, you know, and you could almost do like a Batman v Superman, where they don't know and they kind of think each other's trying to kill, you know, they're trying to kill each other, and then they realize they're kind of both victims in this whole thing and team up. I think that would be fucking awesome. So Mr. Sunday Movies also, you know, they mentioned how they liked that it was a different type of movie because it wasn't him just running around with you know, trying to figure out, you know, who he really is, or, you know, figure out his memory. And they also mentioned how, you know, they liked how it started up in the Arctic. It wasn't just him running around Europe. You know, this is all over the world. We're going to the Philippines. We're, you know, in the Arctic, in this mountain, snowy environment and stuff. And I really love that. The way the movie starts out with him up there trekking through the snow, and then he gets there, and then Oscar Isaac's character is like, nobody's ever got here in 3 days, and you went over the mountain. That's impossible. And Jeremy Renner's like, well, look, motherfucker, I'm replacing Jason Bourne, so I can do it all. So, hey, but I thought that was great. And then he's like, what's that noise? And you go outside, and, you know, he hears the drone, and then it's like, oh shit. The whole snow stuff was great. And then stealing the airplane to get, you know, back to civilization was great because now you're like, well, they need to think he's dead. He can't go have his passport light up somewhere. They need to think he's dead. So him stealing a plane was perfect. And I love that truck pulling up and like, look, the guy locking his brakes, looking like, where the hell does airplane go? And there goes Jeremy Renner flying off in it. I thought that was great too. So
yeah, they also compare it to Limitless, the Bradley Cooper film, which I really like. That and because of the pills, because he in Limitless he takes the pill to make him smarter. So in this one, it's he takes one pill to make him smarter, one pill to make him stronger, and then if he doesn't have one, it kind of messes him all up. And so he had and I like what one of the guys says. I think it's Mason who says for Mr. Sunday Movies, who goes, I want to see a film with him dumb. I want to see a film before he takes the pills.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he does talk about how his IQ was like 60 or something like that. It was like almost at the level where the army was going to be like, thanks, but no thanks. Like, you're too dumb.
Right on the border of, he's basically Peter Griffin. Because Peter Griffin takes the test, and I'm sorry if people are offended by this, but Peter Griffin says that he's retarded, and so he is right at that level of the spectrum of it, and that's what Jeremy Renner's character is that he's right there of special needs to just being dumb. Yeah. So it would kind of be interesting to get maybe like a short film or something they could have thrown on the DVD of him before he took the pills.
Yeah. And I do like how when he didn't have the pills and they have to go to the Philippines to get the virus to inject him so he can, they say he viraled out or whatever they did to make it so he didn't need the pills anymore. That while they're in this process, before they actually get this thing, whatever it is to inject him so that he doesn't need the pills anymore, he has these moments where he just kind of freezes and is like, turns into Private Pile, it's like, she's like, hello, it was pretty good. I liked how they took a character who's new to this movie, but is leading the movie now, and really gave him some depth. It wasn't just like a Matt Damon replacement. So I thought it was done good. But Rachel Weisz as the lead supporting actress, I thought she was great.
Always nice
and
to look at, yeah.
I loved her story. I mean, she's just your average everyday scientist going to work, making drugs, for these badass people. But, because of the way the government works and secrecy, all she knows is she's making these pills for these guys. They walk out the door. She doesn't know what they're doing.
And he keeps wanting to know more and more and more. And she keeps telling him, I only do this one thing. This is what I do. I don't know anything else. Which is great because she's not a know-it-all. She's not, which I thought was good writing. And she's not a girl boss. She's not better than him. She doesn't take the pills to become Supergirl. Yeah. She's this scientist who can, stand on her own through some of this. And it's a good character because that's exactly what would happen. I'm only in this department. That's all I know. I don't know anything else. So stop asking me.
Yeah. And the fact that the government was just trying to clean slate and get rid of everybody in the program. So they wanted to kill everybody. So she really had good motive to go with him, where a lot of girls would be like, no, screw that. I'm out, where she's like, and Jeremy Renner even tells her, like, you don't come, they're going to kill you too. So you might as well just come with me. But it's not Alex Cross, because that's Alex Cross, the movie Alex Cross, and that character, it's Aaron Cross. So that's kind of an interesting choice of names there. But I don't know what's behind that, but whatever. But if I was going to have any knocks on this movie, I love the motorcycle chase. I thought that was great, but there's a part, and if you've ever ridden a motorcycle, if you had somebody on the back behind you and they were falling off like this and you're riding, you can't just turn around and grab them and pull them up, or you're going to eat shit, because wherever you go, your motorcycle goes that direction. So that, I was like, as somebody who's familiar with motorcycles, that kind of bugged me. And then also, and I understand it was like a dual sport that he was riding, but he decides, okay, I'm going to turn sideways. There's a car. We're just going to like pop a wheelie, hop up on this car and jump over. I thought that didn't look that good. I thought that, it was clear that they put a ramp on the other side of that car. I didn't care for that. And even it was kind of slow. So it was almost like, I bet there was strings pulling them up and pulling that motorcycle along, like kind of giant puppet strings that they green screened out or whatever. So I didn't care for those two little things, but that's just nitpicky shit. So was there any problems you had with the movie, John?
No, it gets a tad bit into Fast and Furious territory, but like you said, like going over the car, there is the one scene where they're both on the bike and there's the stairs, but then there's like the concrete railing that's connected to it. And he does hop the bike up on it and slide down, which is cool, but I don't know if that could ever be done. That's
I'm thinking, fuck no.
That's very Fast and Furious.
I forgot about that. And that was what I like about the Bourne movies, is that they're all very plausible. This is the first time that you introduce these super drugs that give them like these special powers to be a badass. And you have him riding a motorcycle in a way that wouldn't be realistic. So, I mean, a lot of things that Jason Bourne does are unrealistic, but they're plausible. This is where you kind of get in the gray area of plausibility that maybe this couldn't really happen, but it was still a lot of fun. And I didn't care that they did those things.
No, I didn't either. No.
So the only other issue that I have with this movie is that it's not complete. They ride off into the sunset. We have a crew of bad people in the US government who don't die, who don't go away. They're theoretically still looking for Aaron Cross and this girl to kill them, to wipe the slate clean. And so I'm like, what happened to Edward Norton? We did not resolve like the story. He's still there. Alex Cross and the girl are out on a boat. They fell in love. They ride off in the sunset together. They're going to go hide. That's great. But if we've learned anything from Jason Bourne, hiding is only going to last so long before they find you. So I'm like, I need a part 2, or I need another movie. I need him and maybe Matt Damon to be going after like Edward Norton's character, or whoever, these people behind the scenes, and maybe they intersect or something, but I needed more. It felt incomplete.
So. I would agree. The film did make money, as Mr. Sunday Movies points out. It wasn't a bomb.
Yeah.
And so, but once again, I mean, they do mention on Mr. Sunday Movies that they were going to do a sequel, but then Matt Damon went, no, I want to do it. And that was completely scrapped. So, and I'm going to guess that because it was Tony Gilroy, that anything that he did,
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get more Jeremy Renner in the Bourne franchise at some point. And Balzer says, I'm retarded. Dr. Sam Beckett. Yes, you are, Kamala. That was probably the funniest thing I saw in the last election cycle, was when he opens the door and, and sees the mirror, and it's, we're talking about, John, what's that? What's the show? God dang it. And Dr. Sam Beckett is played by the captain of the, is it the USS Enterprise? I think so. Right.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Son of a bitch. It's the one where the dude jumps through the portal and he enters other people's bodies. God dang it. Enterprise.
No. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he looks in the Scott Bakula.
Scott Bakula, thank you.
Yeah, he looks in the mirror and just goes, yeah, exactly that. I'm retarded.
Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap.
I'm retarded? Yes.
Yeah,
thanks,
I remember that. Yeah. I've never seen
So
the episode, but
funny.
I've seen that clip. Yeah.
where he opens it and it's like Kamala. And have you seen that one where they put Kamala Harris in the mirror and it's Kamala? They use CGI or they use AI and made Kamala go, I'm retarded.
That's funny. No, I'll have to look for that.
Yeah.
The only Quantum Leap episode I've seen is the Stephen King one. Stephen King's a little kid, and I don't know. I forget exactly what happens, but speaking of Stephen King, he made a joke, and now the lefties are all over him. That's what happens when you make a joke on social media.
Yeah.
You're going to be eaten by your own. I know that from personal experience, and now he's experiencing it. But it's going to be very interesting to see what happens to him.
Yeah, I just wish he would shut up and keep pen to paper. Just keep giving us great stories. So in Quantum Leap, I love the original Quantum Leap. I have never seen one episode of the remake or reboot with Raymond Lee. I remember at Comic-Con right before the show was coming out, they had this big Quantum Leap thing with him there. I just don't care. I like Quantum Leap without Scott Bakula is like, I don't give a fuck. You take Star Trek and you pull out Captain Kirk, you give us Jean-Luc Picard. Okay. If you're not giving us somebody that I fucking love to replace a character that I loved, I'm not going to care. And so you take Scott Bakula away and you give me somebody who I haven't heard of, I'm not going to care. So if they would have taken an actor that we would have known and I would have gone like, oh shit, I want to see them in Quantum Leap, then maybe, but I haven't. Have you watched any of the, well, no, you haven't seen the original one. Have you seen any of the new?
No, just the advertisements for it. No. But it's strange that you say that because you're a massive Queen Latifah, the Equalizer fan.
That is exactly why I have not seen one fucking second of that show. I love the Equalizer. I have all 3 movies right here in 4K. Denzel is he's on my Mount Rushmore of actors. I will not watch Queen Latifah as the Equalizer. Michael McNally, what's going on? Killable Productions, what up? How you doing? So, anyways, we should wrap up our Bourne conversation. I did this video. I felt like with Mr. Sunday Movies, each video they've done has kind of gotten a little bit less funny, but they're still very entertaining guys. Like the first Bourne movie, they had a lot of funny jokes and stuff, where the second, third, and fourth were more like just reviews, but they were still good and entertaining. I do like Mr. Sunday Movies. I've subscribed to them, and there's probably some other movies that I'll be curious to see their thoughts on. But what do you think about their review of it?
I enjoyed it. I watched it twice. I watched it last night again just to refresh myself. They do best when something is bad. So when they, like, I just watched, they reviewed the Marvel TV series Inhumans, and they did 2 videos on it, and then they combined it into one. They destroy this show, and it is hilarious. when they like something, it's not as funny because they're not going to put it down.
Yeah. Well, and I understand that wholeheartedly, because when I get really pissed off and make movie reviews about movies that I hate, I get a lot of views. If I enjoy the movie, nobody watches. Like Joker 2, my Joker 2 rant, 1,600 views. Let's see here. Find the next movie review. Anora only had 552, and that won Academy Awards. So, but Longlegs, I wasn't a big fan of it at the time. Got 1,000 views. Maxine, which, well, that's kind of outlier because, but you know what? I kind of bitched about Maxine a little bit. But In a Violent Nature, I destroy that movie. 2,600 views. So it's funny. People love hearing me lose my shit when I bitch about movies, and that's why I still think I should do a video, like a show called "Why This Movie Sucks," and find all the bad things about every, whatever movie. It doesn't matter. It could be the greatest movie ever. You can nitpick it to find something, to find a flaw with anything. I think maybe people would watch me bitching about stuff. I don't know why. I'm a good bitcher, I guess. Maybe I bitch well. I don't know.
Just a little bitch.
Just don't call me a bitch. You son of a bitch.
I just did. Good timing on that one.
Yes. So, anyways, so next week we will have the final installment that currently exists in the Jason Bourne world, and that is the movie Jason Bourne, where Matt Damon makes his triumphant return. We'll talk about that, and we will watch Mr. Sunday Movies Review and kind of talk about our thoughts on that as well. But here it is, the bonus disc that I get with this. It has a bunch of different songs from the like the movie theme song, Extreme Ways from Moby. It has a music video for that. So a bunch of different stuff on here. On this bonus disc that came with this box set. So I love this box set. Yeah. Yes, I do love it. And I'm thrilled because I was very concerned because I had forgotten. I've seen all of the Bourne movies a few times, but I couldn't remember after starting to watch it if they used that song in the end of Bourne Legacy. So I was like, shit, are they going to use it? Because the other movies, you hear like bits of it come in a little bit, throughout the movie, like in the score, and then the whole song at the end. So when I started Legacy, I went all the way to the credits to hear the music. And then I went like, okay, yeah, they use the song. All right, now let's start the movie. So I do love that song as well. And I don't mean to brag, but I was at filming of Conan when Conan, after he basically lost his gig as the host of the Tonight Show, and when he went back to LA and started the new show, was it TBS or whatever network?
I mean, yeah, it was TBS, yeah.
Okay, so the second week that he was back on the air, Moby was the musical guest. I believe LL Cool J was one of the guests on the show as well. And LL Cool J might have been a different time, but JB Smoove was there, who's a very funny comedian. But Moby, where I was sitting in the audience, I'm sure musicians do this. I'm sure Moby just did not want my body. But where I was sitting in the audience, Moby, when he's singing the song, he like locked eyes with me and stared at me the duration of the song, whatever he was singing, the entire song, he was staring right. So I was kind of like uncomfortable, like going, like, but I think he probably just picks something in the audience or something out there to stare at. And maybe so that way he's not feeling like I need to look at all the audience members or whatever. He probably just picks a person or an object to stare at and then does his performance. But the entire time, fucking Moby was locked on me. And I was like, oh, Moby knows what's up. Moby knows OGP.
That's right.
So yeah.
Never forgotten
You know
it.
me. Yeah. So that was funny. But and it's funny because every time I think of Moby, I always think of Eminem talking shit about Moby, but I'm like, I've always kind of liked Moby's music. So,
I
I'm not
like
going to
his
sit here and say I'm
music.
the biggest fan. Yeah. So Eminem has some choice words for Moby way back in the day. I'm not sure how their relationship is now, but let's see. Balzer says, I've never cared for Matt Damon after watching School Ties years ago. He was such a little prick in that movie. Great film. You've never cared for Matt Damon. You have broke my heart, Balzer. I am devastated. I don't know how I'm going to go on. No, that's okay, because yesterday Fat Samurai Guy had a movie watching party at his house, which they didn't invite me to. So fuck me, I guess. I'm kidding. But they watched The Substance and they all loved it. And then they watched Frontiers. And I was like, oh, it's the best fucking double feature I've ever heard of. And they hated Frontiers. So he was like, he was worried I was going to be mad that they didn't like the movie. I'm like, no, we're good. But I'm like, I'm still kind of waiting for him to go like, haha, just kidding. Got you kind of thing. Cause I thought the movie's fucking phenomenal.
Big, what are you doing?
But to each their own.
To eat their own.
To eat their own. Yes. So next week, Jason Bourne, we'll be talking about that. Anything else, John, tonight that we need to talk about?
Maybe end it with going back to Michael Mahal. Yes. We got you have one movie. I have a few of their movies.
Yes. So just to recap for anybody that wasn't here, 2 hours and 31 minutes, which is probably most of you. We did start the show tonight by mentioning that a fellow filmmaker, a Las Vegas film community legend, Michael Mahal, who, as you're looking at the picture, he's on the left, but he's standing to my right in that picture. Michael Mahal passed away in his sleep. And that is Michael and Sonny Mahal. They're the owners, producers, the legends behind the Mahal Empire that have brought us many, many movies. I just met them. That picture was from just a couple months ago at Days of the Dead. I only met them in person for the first time just a couple months ago. I had been friends with them online forever, talked with them. When we were there, and I forget if it was Sonny or if it was Michael, were commenting about how they enjoy the videos with John and I together. So they watch. And so friends, viewers, filmmakers, film, buffs, people that are passionate about films. Great guy, Michael Mahal. Rest in peace. It is bummer. It's tragic news that John found out and let me know this afternoon. I had to call him right away going like, what the fuck? Did I read this right? And I don't know how old they are, and it doesn't matter. But one thing is for sure, looking at this picture, way too young. Michael was way too young. So yeah, a very sad news. But why don't you show, because Michael and Sonny have done a bunch of movies, and that's why they went and it's the Mahal Empire, because they just crank out movies like no other. And I hope that once Sonny is done his grieving, and because they have a movie they just were crowdfunding for a few days ago, and I think for like post-production stuff, they have stuff in the works. So I hope once Sonny is, through the grieving process, which will never end. It never ends. If you've ever lost anyone, especially a brother, like I have done, you never finish the grieving process. But hopefully he gets to a point where he can move on with his life and complete some of these projects, especially for his brother who won't be here to complete them. Hopefully he's able to carry on the company and continue giving us more movies somewhere down the line. But they have had a bunch, and maybe we'll let John talk about some of those. And when you talk about the one that I own, I'll show what I got. But yeah.
Yeah, they were. It was so I worked on Art of the Dead, and it was one of the best experiences I've ever had. And there were many people who I got to meet on that film, and like I mentioned at the beginning, like Tara Reid was fun to work with, and got to hang out with Richard Grieco, which was pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
I got a picture. I asked him. I said, "Can I be like a 12-year-old girl?" And he goes, "What?" And I said, "You just stand there, and I'm going to get down and be like, 'Oh my God, it's Richard Grieco.'" And that's the picture I have with him is just me acting like a total, like fangirl, and very
That's
nice
cool.
guy. And it was a great experience. And every week was a bonus. I mean, it'd be a Friday. They'd give us like, Saturday off or something. And then they'd give us a little bonus. And they'd be like, "Thank you for being here. Here's a bonus on top of what you're already getting paid." So
Nice.
I don't own all their movies because they're honestly kind of hard to find.
Well,
So
let's talk about Art of the Dead a little bit more, real quick. And that's very cool. Directed by Rolf Konevsky and
yeah,
written by Rolf Konevsky, who this is not the time to be name dropping and everything, but obviously you've met Rolf if you were on the set of that. Master Chaos and I were at an all-night horror-thon a couple years ago, right before Halloween, and we ran into Rolf Konevsky there and Ben Stober. So we were at this all-night horror-thon with Rolf Konevsky and Ben Stober. So that was pretty cool. So I got to meet Rolf. Great guy. But also at another experience movie premiere with Wet Movie One, got to meet Sarah French, who's also in this, who's not on the cover, but Sarah French is a great actress. And we were supposed to go to like an after party or something, I think, but Wet Movie One had to go the next day or something like that. But she's great. So many great people involved with this film. So I just wanted to mention those names.
yeah, and Jessica Morris is in this, and I had just worked with her on Evil Bong 777.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of knew her from that. And I was the driver. So I drove all the women. Well, I drove the guys too, but I mostly like right here, Robert Donovan. I picked him up, and I picked up a few other guys too. Michael Sue was the DP on this. But it was great is when I would pick up the women, there'd be three of them, and they'd be in the back of one would be in the passenger seat, there'd be two in the back. And I made sure that car was clean, inside and out. That thing was clean. And I wasn't ignored, but it was almost like I was invisible because they would just talk women talk. So it would be sex. It would be, I mean, it didn't matter. It was like Sex in the City in my car. And I wouldn't say anything. I'd just be completely quiet and just let them do their thing. So I heard a lot of stuff.
That's funny.
And which was interesting. And then when I would drive the guys, I would, we really talked politics is what we talked. So there was a lot of politics talk. But yeah, Sarah French, I got to hang out with. She signed a DVD for me because she goes by a different name in some movies. So I had her on one side of the box, her like, to John, thanks for being here, Sarah French. Then on the other side, she wrote something different with that other name because the movie that I had her sign had that other name on it. So I'm like, can you sign it, Sarah French, on here, and then do your alias like on this side? And this was just a great experience, and I got a couple posters for it, which are really nice. And
your nipples got really hard when Sarah French signed that for you.
They went like this.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Balzer's no dummy. John, have you heard anything about Count's Vamps, the restaurant closing, or his restaurant bar? I just saw that in the news that his restaurant Vamps is closing. Yeah.
Oh, that is a real shame. I've been there once. I saw Michael Graves of the Misfits there and got to hang out with him for a little bit. Got like a photo with him. He signed the tour poster. And then he has some short movies that he made, and I bought those and he signed them. It was a free concert, and he was all in the makeup from the Misfits. He did a bunch of Misfits songs that he wrote, and then a bunch of solo stuff. So yeah, I've been to Camp Vamps, but yeah, it doesn't seem to get a lot of people. I drive by it a lot, and there's
I
just
think
not a lot of people there.
when the TV show was on and really big, it was different. Now with them not being regularly on TV, I think it's a little, maybe things are winding down. But it is a bummer. But I want to mention two other things real quick. One, I have not said hello to Sean 420. He's been over here commenting like a badass. Sean, hope you're doing well tonight. Thanks for hanging out with us. Matt Damon is great in Dogma. Yes, Matt Damon's great in almost everything. Not that one movie that I won't even mention that somebody wanted me to sign earlier tonight that I offered to sign with scissors. Matt Damon was terrible in that. Shame on him for even being in that. Art of the Dead. Yes. Watch it. Yes. Everybody, to honor, Michael Mahal, and support his brother, Sonny. If you can check these movies out, just Google, Mahal's Mahal and see what they've made. See if you've got them, or a lot of them you can watch on Tubi for free. So, so do that. Now, also, I know we're talking, Sonny and Michael Mahal right now. I do want to mention this because if anybody is in Vegas anytime soon, I want them to go see this. Let me share this really fast. On Saturday, May 31st, Tom Devlin, his band with Waleed, Switch to Fakey, is playing at the Skinny Bar. And sorry about my barking dog. The Skinny Bar with Wyatt and the Ashes. It's a free show Saturday, May 31st. If you're in Vegas or in the area, go check them out. They are really good. Tom and Waleed can really shred. And so it's a fun. And I think Tom's wife is their drummer, right?
Oh, I don't know.
I know
I may go to this.
Yeah, I know. John, I was thinking about messaging you, going like, maybe I'm going to come out on the 31st because I've been dying to see them live. Every time they play, I'm not in town. So, that it is, if you go and I don't get to come out there, I'll be super jealous, but I'll be very happy for you and glad that you get to support them.
That's what it's all about.
Yes, 100%. So, anyways, and good free music. So there you go. Just wanted to mention that. So back to the Mahal Empire. We're paying a tribute to Michael Mahal, who we lost.
Yes. And you mentioned Ben Stober. He gave me this because he's in it. Bus Party to Hell.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was like their first big movie. I mean, that was early on for them. They've done a lot of other big movies since then. And I know that wasn't their first movie, but that one kind of, I think, put them on the map.
I would agree. They had done some like teenage sex comedies and stuff that both Michael and Sonny directed. But yeah, I think this is the first one that people went, oh. Yeah. And, and it's got Harvey. They worked with her a lot. And, Sadie Katz. And so it's got a bunch of people in it. It's fun. There is a fair amount of nudity in it. It's directed by Rolf. So it's definitely, written and directed by Rolf. And then, story is by Sonny and Michael, but then the script is written by Wolf Koninsky. So
now that's Bus Party to Hell. Okay. Is there another movie called like Party Bus or something like that? That's
them. It has two titles.
Oh, that's funny. Okay. Cause I was like, I thought it was Party Bus to Hell or something, but okay. Yeah. It does say Bus Party to Hell. Okay.
And then they made, this is what you got to really check, what you got to get off of eBay. This is a Blu-ray, but it used to be a library copy. So it's in it's in a DVD box. So that's Attack of the Unknown.
Okay.
So that's their alien movie.
So Bus Party was first, then Art of the Dead was second, then Attack of the Unknown. So Bus Party was 2017, Art of the Dead 2019, Attack of the Unknown 2020. Yeah. Any stories or anything about that one? Again, Richard Grieco. Oh, and Douglas Tate was in that. Robert Lasardo. Paul Gunn was in that. And unfortunately.
Oh, there he is right there. Yeah.
Tara Reid, but Paul Gunn. Oh man, why am I drawing a blank on her name? What was his girlfriend's name that just passed away?
Yeah.
Remember we met her you knew her before already, right? But Matt knew her too.
I met her at a
Man.
few different screenings. Yeah, and then she just kind of like, I believe, passed out of the blue. Like it just happened, and it really hit Paul hard. So Paul is an awesome guy. He's on Facebook. I think it's like Paul not Gunn or something like that. It's kind of like a weird name that he has on there, but he's a really nice guy.
Paul, not James Gunn, or something like that.
Something like that, yeah. And I enjoyed this. This is fun. It's Brandon Siegel, I think is how you say his last name. It's very small.
Slagle.
But this is fun. Swagel, yeah. And it's their UFO movie. It's kind of like Battle Los Angeles. So this was good. I just don't like the box that it's in, but what are you going to do? And then they also did Bloodthirst, which has our buddy from Saw in it.
Oh, yes. So, love him, Hoffman in Saw. And of course, we're talking about Costas Mandylor. Yeah. But man, Costas is great. But also there, again, Tara Reid. So that tells you something. If these actors are willing to go back and work with them over and over again, tells you they were treated well on set. Robert Lasardo, Sarah French, trying to see if any other names. Ben Stober, of course. And that's about it on the names and the actors that I recognize.
Yeah, and this one's directed by Michael Sue. So I know stories that I'm not going to tell. So it's one of those things where you do hear the good stuff, but then you also kind of hear the behind the scenes that are only for my ears or whoever they want to tell. So it's
involving Michael Mahal or involving cast members,
film shoots and stuff like that. So because nothing goes 100% on a film shoot. So it's so you do get these things, but this is so this Bloodthirst, and then the last one
I like that artwork is great for Bloodthirst. I like that.
Yeah, that does look good. And then the last one that I have is Bermuda Island.
Okay. So I was on an airplane and I was flying because that's what you do on an airplane.
That is true.
My arms were very tired. They made us stick them out the window and go like this.
Oh, it was all about, yeah.
If
you stopped, the plane just would have crashed.
Correct. But Bermuda Island, I wish that they would have done some things different. And the budgets they get, the Mahal brothers get, are really good for crowdfunding. We're talking several $100,000 for these movies. That is still not $50 million that they just spent on Final Destination. So you understand there's going to be some issues. Now, Bermuda Island, they start out at an airport, as this plane is about to take off. And I wish they would have done things differently with the airport. And this is, I'm not sitting here trying to, criticize them or anything. But I thought the airport scene looked very small. But I wish they would have done different stuff with that. But irregardless, I watched a movie about an airplane crashing while I was on an airplane on the way to Hawaii.
Oops.
How about them apples?
Wow.
I think I was going to Hawaii. Might have been Boston, might have been Chicago, probably was Hawaii.
Yeah, and this one, so Paul Gunn is in this one, but then Mike Ferguson is in this one.
Oh yeah.
So, and you combine. So I've, which I know both of them, and I've actually worked with Mike. I've been in a couple movies that he's
in. That's a bumblebee flying around. Watch out! Watch out! Oh man,
sadly,
okay. I can't believe what that turned out to be. I was, when I saw Mike in that, I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Well, I also worked with him in Night of the Zomghouls from Will.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, okay.
So I got to work with him on that too. But if you combine these two with Paul and Mike, both of them were in Bullet Train, the Brad Pitt movie.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Did not know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, their stuff was obviously shot in LA. They're waiting for the train. They're like assassins, and they're with other assassins on the train track, and they're like on the platform, and they're waiting for the train, and the camera goes right past them, and I'm like, oh, I know them, and so whenever I see Paul and you know, I talk to him, I go, but dude, you were in Bullet Train with Brad Pitt.
Yeah, nothing to sneeze at right there.
No,
even though I haven't seen the movie, because everybody that I talked to about it was like, eh. So maybe
Bullet
one day
Train?
I'll watch it. Yeah,
oh,
I heard it wasn't good.
I absolutely loved Bullet Train.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna take a look at the rating right now. And any other movie? So that was the last one of those.
That was my last one. Yeah, I'm not complete. Sean 420 does mention Arena Wars, which but I don't have that one.
Okay. Yeah, there are a couple of well, Bullet Train has a 7.3 rating. I'm surprised because I didn't hear anything good. So they have other movies that aren't out yet. Oh, come on, stop this thing. But they've also done Night of the Tommyknockers, Bridge of the Doomed. I like, this is very funny that they must have contributed to the crowdfunding or something, I would imagine, because Michael's listed as an associate producer on Don't Fuck in the Woods 2, which that is hilarious.
That was another great thing about them, is they would give to other people's crowdfunding. So they gave to me a couple of times. That's cool. Like they gave to Meat Massacre 4. So they're in the credits for that, both of them. Yeah.
Nice. And executive producers on Camp Pleasant Lake and Devil's Night. And it's funny, Devil's Night was shot out at this like castle in Texas. And I'm not going to mention any names because I don't know if I'm allowed to, but I have another friend who was filming something on set out there. And I saw a picture and I was like, no shit. That's where the Mahals just filmed Devil's Night. But they also, and I'm sorry about the dog barking, Alien Storm, Cursed Waters, Bikers versus Werewolves, Alien Horde, and the Apex Predators Club. 5 movies that they still have in the pipeline that are 4 of which are completed. They're just in post-production. Apex Predators Club is in pre-production. I think maybe that's the one they were crowdfunding for right now. But there are 5 more movies from the Mahals coming. So lots of good stuff to look forward to.
Yeah. Very
so
sad.
Yeah.
Sad, but a good legacy behind them, though.
Yes. 100%. And that's what I think, like as a filmmaker, it's so cool that they could leave something for us to go back. And even if we don't see them, I think the Mahals give themselves little cameos here and there. But, as far as not seeing them on screen as an actor or whatever, stuff that they did that we can go back and watch. And so that the news, which John found out today and then let me know that Michael passed away, and it kind of added it changed the way the show started out tonight, because we had to talk about that. Somebody we both knew, considered a friend, a good person, passing away is tragic. It's very, very disappointing. So it really, it's a bummer. That's I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about Vegas, is that it does have that small film community, but we're all interlinked. So it's Michael's passing affects everybody in Vegas, because we would, like when I did my crowdfunding, and I forget for which film it was, he messaged me and said, "No, John, you need to do this." He goes, I've seen your crowdfunding. It's not working. This is what you need to do. And so he would give me advice on what to do for crowdfunding, because those guys are like the kings of crowdfunding.
Yeah.
And so he went out of his way to say all that. And with his passing and the questionable future of the Mahal empire, you know, it affects me, it affects Tom Devlin, it affects Joe Lujan, it affects Drew Marvick, it affects everybody that's out here. And the community is so connected that if you're an asshole, we're all going to know it. And we're not going to want to work with you. And there are a few of them out here. It's a very interesting place to be as far as film goes, because they, you know, Mark Wahlberg is trying to get a studio out here, and we got, you know, Nick Cage is here. But it's when somebody passes like that, it's like taking a spoke off of like a, you know, a bicycle wheel.
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to ride the same. So, you know, it's going to be a different vibe.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Well, we'll recap the news quickly here and call it a night. Again, Final Destination Bloodlines. I really enjoyed it. John, not so much. But I think if you're a fan of the franchise, you go see it, irregardless of how John feels.
Irregardless of how I feel. Yes.
Yes. Why is this? There we go. And then we have not seen Hurry Up Tomorrow because it has a terrible score of a 15 on Rotten Tomatoes from the experts. It looks atrocious, and not the supercalifragilistic type of expialidocious. But Clown in a Cornfield, I thought sucked ass, but it's got a fair 73 and 61 scores on Rotten Tomatoes. So maybe you want to watch it. I think it sucks. This is the big one of the week. Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. We are both super duper excited about that. Also, a couple days from now, if you want to go see the re-release of 28 Days Later, you'll be able to see that as we look forward to 28 Years Later coming. So 28 Days Later will be back in theaters a couple days from now. But Scarlett Johansson will not be in this pile of doomsday dog shit. The Batman 2 does have a complete script, at least a first draft of it. So we're excited about that. A Rambo origin story in the works, which I'm pretty excited about. I would love to see, yes, a young John Rambo in like in Vietnam or something. I think that'd be great.
We'll see.
Oh, and I forgot to mention earlier, The Bondsman, Kevin Bacon's new show, 1 month after it premiered, has been canceled by Amazon Prime. They released the whole thing, so you could go watch it all. It is a very interesting story, but they go too hard with the music, and it's this weird country music aspect to the whole thing that is so I was really rooting for it. I watched one episode and then I was like, I just never went back.
Oh wow. Okay.
New Jason Voorhees look. This is apparently what Jason Voorhees is going to look like in the new Jason universe, because some fucking person with the intellectual property rights is allowed to say that now. And why we needed an image of Jason Voorhees right now, I don't know, but we got it, and we're looking forward to maybe a movie and the prequel TV show that's coming up on Peacock about Pamela Voorhees. And then Sorority Road, John Ward recommended this last week. I watched it. He watched it again, and we both absolutely love it. So highly recommend everybody check that out.
Yep.
Oh, also, I forgot to mention Creep IE. If you're out here or if you go to Creep IECon, they have just restarted announcements, guest announcements for Creep IE Aftermath, which will be in September. Today, they announced that Jenna Davis, who is the voice of the Megan actress, I think maybe that's her kind of likeness too. But Jenna Davis, who plays Megan in the Megan movies, which the sequel's coming out, she is going to be there signing your goods and taking pictures with you. So Creep IE tickets are on sale right now for that. Oh, also, I did want to mention, physical media wise, Jason X and Jason Go to Hell are both getting 4K releases from Arrow Video. So they're probably going to have little goodies or something in there with those. Presence is also with Lucy Liu coming out on 4K. Speaking of Steven
weird
Soderbergh,
that you mentioned, Arrow. I know somebody who works at Arrow.
Name dropping asshole.
Click back on. Click back on.
But Steven Soderbergh's Presence. Even though I'm mad at Steven Soderbergh right now, I'm still looking forward to seeing Presence with Lucy Liu getting a 4K release. And on June 10th, Working Man and Drop are coming out on 4K on June 10th.
Yes.
So just a couple weeks away for those. And June 3rd, When Evil Lurks is getting a 4K release. That one has had a Blu-ray, but it's finally getting the 4K on June 3rd. So some physical media news there. And that's all I got to say about that. So we're going to go home now. Sean has put in a formal request for Pumpkinhead does have a name. And if you ask for him by name, you better make sure you want it. Because if not, you're up shit creek. Anything else, John?
No, I should be putting out a new video soon on my channel. I've just been lazy. Maybe this Sunday I'll do something. And it's funny, since we've started this video, all I've heard is Boris, my cat, ripping apart a bag because he is upset that I have not spent time with him. Because normally when I get home, we'll hang out on the bed and I'll be rubbing his belly and, and stuff like that. And I think that he's not happy that I'm not paying attention to him. So all I've been hearing is a bag just being ripped apart.
Bastard cat owner. Balzer, Mr. Balzer, you, sir, stand corrected. I charge you with starting this video over from the very, 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 very beginning, like 1 second in. And you will indeed know that.
It's vamp time.
By the time that didn't play right away and it made me look stupid. Sorry. Play the video from the very beginning and you will know that it is.
It's vamp time.
There you go.
There you go.
That time.
Much better.
No, we started off with vamp time tonight. So,
yeah. I still haven't seen the movie. I own it, but I still haven't watched it.
Vamp time?
Was it Slayers?
Slayers, yes. It's funny. Friggin' I think Amazon Prime is the one it's on. Keeps recommending me. Ooh, Slayers, like movies recommended for you. Slayers. I'm like, no. it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's not great. But Vamp Time is awesome. So but thank you everybody. Appreciate it. House of G fam, Mr. Bones. Thank you all for hanging out with us. It has
thank you guys. I appreciate it.
And all that. So we're gonna go home now. Yeah. We'll see everybody next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Bye-bye. Damn it. I screwed up on my timing again. I forgot. I got to hit the button and then I got to hit this other button and then this.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
Most of all, fuck you!